Okay. Episode 14. So, night is beginning to come upon you. And you're here with this bandit stronghold. Now, a unicorn had said he wanted to try deliberation. Try to
Yes,
appeal to
indeed.
their humanity, try to turn them against the orcs and assault Fornost with you. And if that doesn't happen, then the sword.
With an intimidating factor added here.
Yes. And so there wasn't a decision. Those were just some proposals, things that were thrown about. So
Works for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and how would you carry that out?
Well, again, numbers would probably be in our favor. I mean, I know they outnumber us, but in terms of quality and them realizing they'd lose about half their number fighting us or more. I mean, I'm ready to go in and shock and awe them. But I know there was some talk about maybe spreading some of our people around the edges. By the sounds of it, it might be the Rangers, considering they have bows and I mean, they're okay up close with a sword, but not their preferred method by the sounds of it.
Not with the two that are with Raven. They have their bows.
So I mean, it might sound like they might want to go around the edges to surprise them from the sides if things go sour. But
Okay.
and I think, was it Raven has the spear? Someone has a spear.
She does have one and a bow.
But I believe it was Herobrand who said maybe send some of them out there to seem like they were outnumbered, maybe. Like there's even more of us out there while we talk.
Yeah, I mean, we could have, like people maybe in the distance, walk around with 2 or 3 torches, like 2 torches spread out, so it looks like there's twice as many people, or, make noise up, at different places, so they're like, oh shit, we're surrounded,
It does sound like a ranger thing, so.
Yeah.
Right? And what entrance would you guys go into?
No entrance like the front entrance, I suppose.
Because you had learned that Fulvus's intel, he could detect, he suspects 4 other entrances. 1 on the west, 1 on the east, and then 2 on the north. Though he can't be certain about the ones on the east and west because they're obscured by buildings.
Well, these are the lazy guards, right?
Yeah.
Because there were 2. Yeah. So I would hope that them being so lazy, we could honestly surprise them, not jump them, but just run past them in a cadre, basically past the courtyard.
All right.
Before they even understand what's going on, really. Which might add to the shock and awe, especially if, the dwarves are in the front. You just have heavy feet, and dwarves just run in a cadre formation all the way up to the courtyard.
Yeah, you do have 7 dwarves here total.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be quite intense. All right.
So it'd be the dwarves, and then Herobrand. I'm assuming Soul's coming with us, as is Talendil, because they're more. Well, I mean, Soul's kind of both, but I'm assuming Wanderer and Talendil are both going to come with us in this group.
Yeah.
We're,
Well, with
oh,
me.
Plan.
and I guess so. And how can I forget Agamemnon? Because he loves the front line.
He does, and he's got some serious armor. He would, in the past, he's always said that he would charge first, if allowed, just to be a shield for everyone.
Well, I think my helmet needs to be seen, but he can run right next to me.
Oh, yeah. Raven and the two rangers, they're going to head around east and look for a suitable entrance to come in when needed.
And Fulvis shall be Fulvis.
Fulvis is going to
Yeah.
I will go in and be quiet, and I will sneak around and try to get around to that prison.
Yes, at the very least, they shall be distracted, Fulvis. So you can, if the time comes, you can free prisoners.
All right.
And when do you want me to say my little speech, Jake? Yeah, or Bane?
Huh?
I have a little speech. So I don't know if I should say it when I should say it exactly.
Speech for us, or speech
For everybody, for them to hear too.
Oh, well, I think
It
to
would
make
seem-
my intimidation check.
All right,
Like, I
so
have
I'll say it as for you to make your intimidation check.
Okay, because that'll
Okay.
give me a bonus from you, who are my closest companion. My fellowship focus.
Okay, so you tell me. Let me see. Copy. Paste.
Is this to additionally intimidate them? Is that what I'm to understand?
Or or inspire us, and inspire, intimidate, whatever. So when you're ready to intimidate, are you going to say anything particular to them?
I mean, it's gonna be like, in generalities, it's going to be, surrender. It's going to be in general,
Or die.
surrender. Or
Or you could. Well, if we were trying to get them on our side to help fight the orcs, right? I mean, is that what he was saying?
I could be a little
Say something
more.
like, remember, remember when you were man or something like that, and not, pawns of the shadow or something, and join us and fight these. We don't want to kill you. We don't want to, but
Yeah.
we
I'm gonna
have to. Or something.
lean
If you
more
don't,
on
if you can join us and do the right thing, or you can, or you can become continue to be pawns of the shadow, in which case we have to destroy you or something, whatever.
In which case, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to destroy you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to lean more on the off front to start for intimidate, but because my persuasion's not great, but we can definitely lean with the intimidate or else, but in that direction.
What's your intimidate again?
It is, oh jeez. So it's my awe is favored with 3.
Wow.
Well, is that awe or intimidate, or what is, or is that the same thing?
It's the same thing, because intimidate is an action under awe. It's just it's weird, but that's how it works. Because they don't like it. I guess they wanted like it to be social.
So your awe is what
wanna...
now? Your awe is what?
3 with favored.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, I also forgot. Okay.
And don't forget,
no.
your helmet is going to give you
Yeah.
a bonus there.
Oh, I've been doing the math. It's so I get another dice for the helmet, which is 4. Then I get 2 dice with help from a companion from Harabrand. Then I get 2 more dice for inspired with hope at night,
How do
which
you
is a
get that?
total of 8.
How do you get the inspired
2,
part?
4,
that's
5.
his dark business.
Oh, okay.
And it basically just means when I spend
Because my persuade is 3 and it's favored too. So I don't know, but whatever. Okay, so fine, cool.
because basically that would give me a total of, by my count, 8. I would have to spend a hope, but I mean, when I'm inspired, 1 hope counts for 2. So
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and Harabrand helping you would have to spend a hope point as well.
yes.
Okay.
For
Just
But
let
that
me
would
know
also
when I have to
because-
do my little spiel.
Yep.
yeah,
All right.
But that would also count for 2 because you are my fellowship companion,
Yep.
which is why.
Do you want me to say it like before you say your thing, or
Well, I guess the question is like, because I don't know exactly what you're gonna say. Is it gonna lend to it, or like, what are you roughly gonna?
it's gonna be one of those like it's gonna be like the Theoden thing when he's riding around, and he's hitting his sword on the on the spears. It's gonna be that kind of thing. Inspire us basically, but also kind of scare them.
Well,
Here, okay. So you want me to just read it to you, and then I'll say it in character at the.
Well, I suppose I guess if that's the case, I'd say it'd probably either be best while we're running in past them in their confusion, or like after I say my thing here, because then it's like if shit
Okay.
goes sideways.
All right. See how they. Okay, it'll be the last. It'll be the last chance for them to do the right thing. Okay.
Yeah, I
So,
think right after, but that Harabrand, that speech is, I'm interpreting that is your action assisting Bane.
Okay.
So he comes in and awes, and then you're flinging that right at them, and
Yeah, it's their last chance. It's like I'm gonna put my 2 cents in. It's your last chance with this.
all right. I want to do. Fulvus is keenly watching these guards. And he's still got his ring on because you keep misplacing him. But occasionally you can get a glimpse of him. But this guard here kind of moves forward a little bit to talk to this guy. And right after that, Fulvus disappears. And I'm going to make a roll for him to sneak through. He's aiming. You can see him looking to go this way.
1.
Let's see. He's going to get 2 dice. And where's his hope point sitting? Oh, yeah. He does spend his hope points, so. And there we go. Whoa. He only got a Gandalf. He nearly failed that even with his ring. But he made it. And so he disappears. You can only assume he's okay. You don't hear any battle going on. Are you going to give him some time to move around in position, or are you going to go straight away in?
No, we'll probably give him a minute if that's the case. I don't see why. Because we're gonna have to position ourselves anyway, more or less, in a formation.
Yep. Okay. So you're going in Harabrand and Bane an Angamandil at the front, followed by 6 dwarves. Where is Wanderer in that mix?
I'm assuming we're halfway between a wedge and a square. As best we can.
I'd be with the rest of the Rangers.
Oh, you're going around with Raven sneaking in on.
Oh, that's right.
Or
They
you
go
want
on
to
the
go
other
with?
side.
Or are you gonna? Tallendale is still here with one other ranger. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
The second one.
The second one stayed because Tallendale was going in.
He's going
rest
in
of
with
the
the
group,
group,
right?
but he's going in the back.
Yeah. I'm gonna
he's not
take
a
up
young.
the rear with.
All right, he's got one other ranger with him, but. All right, and Angamandil.
Nah.
And
And then I'm assuming the rest of the dwarves are just in typical dwarven phalanx formation, apparently.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I'm not going to crowd them out with that, but all right. So these 2 guards are just chatting away with each other. Sometimes they look out, sometimes they're looking in. Mostly they're looking in at the activity that's going on in the center. But they do seem quite bored.
Oh, well, we definitely have the cure for that.
So, are you gonna? So you're planning to charge in? Was it?
Oh, yeah, just, I mean, we're not charging them per se, we're just
No.
charging past.
Yeah. And
Um,
and where do you wish to stop? Is it about here, or are you going to go all the way up into the center?
oh, if we're allowed, I would gladly get as close as we can to the big bad guy there. So, as close as we can. Because he's the one we're going to have to talk to mainly anyway.
Well, we're not in actual combat, but it's only going to take you, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds really to get from where you're at into the center if you wished.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer to be here because then, we're close enough to the bandit lord, or, well, the biggest, according to Fulvus, the biggest guy here, which seems to be in charge.
Yeah.
Which is this guy.
And
so,
are you just wanting to rush past these 2 guards, or are you wanting to kind of shove them out of your way because there is a lot of you coming through, or is no aggression at all? Just asking so I know how to react.
I mean, if they're in the way, they'll probably get shoved. I just have a feeling they're not going to attack a full party because they'd be like, oh no.
Well, their weapons are sheathed.
Yeah. So.
I mean, we can sort of, as we're running past, move aside.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, if you want to just rattle the whole camp, Heroin, you can blow your horn as we're running into the center of camp.
Okay.
Oh, a Dale. Yeah, I can do that.
All right. I'm going to, since I can do it all, I'm just going to grab the lot of you and move you in.
Okay.
And so these 2 guards, as you rush past, do get bumped back. They don't lose their footing much. Come on, move. And you don't see Fulvus anywhere, so he's apparently eluded them so far. And quite the surprise, you lot running in. All of these guys here obviously turn to face you. And this larger guy here, why can't I show you? Oh, yes. That is him.
He looks delightful.
Oh.
Yeah, he does weddings and stuff too. He kind of has a variety of things he's into. So he was, as you came in, looking quite menacingly at these three prisoners, and then he just kind of looks over his left shoulder at you guys as you come in. And I'm going to go ahead and let you do your rolls then, because you have kind of surprised, so you're going to get first action here.
Okay. Okay. So make the roll.
Were you able to
first.
hear my horn?
I did a little bit, and
Yeah.
Let's do it.
There you go.
Alrighty. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think it does the auto because he's my fellowship focus, so I'll click an additional one. Alright.
Yeah, we haven't tested that out yet. I don't know if the coding works for that.
Because I know it works for inspired, but I don't see something like fellowship focus other than I typed it in on my character sheet, so that's like don't know if that works. So
All right.
but yes, I'm assuming in typical Dwarven fashion, one, all the dwarves are in on this plan. They love this plan.
Oh, they do. They're like, at last, they're sneaking around.
And they're banging their shields and
Yep.
much noise.
You guys definitely know how to make an entrance.
Oh yeah. So once we get up to the clearing, I'll give a. I mean, it's pretty evident to everyone else, but I'll just give like a halt in Dwarvish, because I still have my intimidating mask on.
All right. Let's have your roll.
Alrighty. I think I have everything selected. That inspired because nighttime with bonus dice, support from a companion helmet. Alright. Here we go.
Yeah, it's a lot of dice.
It was indeed.
Great success.
Hoping for extraordinary, but I'll take it. I will take it.
Yep. And
So what?
Hairbrand?
Yeah. So what are your words? What are your words?
Bane would stop. Well, this is a delightful welcome. And I'll kind of stick my axe in the bottom of the ground. Now, I know my lord was once here, and I think we would like to find him. Hopefully without violence, but if it comes to it, and I'll turn to the dwarves and my companions, I think that's a fine idea. Now, if you're willing to help in this endeavor, and help perhaps even take care of what's going on in Fornost, I suppose I won't take my axe to you. However, if I find it's less than accommodating here, I can show you my own form of dwarven hospitality. Isn't that right, men? And I'm sure they...
So
Now, I see you also have got some folk here that need releasing in a similar manner. Now, I suggest you do all this in terms of newfound friendship. Otherwise, I suppose we ain't friends. And I think you'd want to be friends, given the circumstances.
all right. So then I say, arise, folk of the West, set fire to your hearts. Turn from the shadow and cease being slaves. Regain your honor for your men, not knaves. For now comes a red day, a day for sword and bow, when hems shall be riven and red blood shall flow. On this day fell deeds shall be done, ere our battered and stricken foe shall run. Then great songs will be sung of the fierce battles won.
And the reaction. So this is not a walk back, but a stumble back. This is a walk back, but he's kind of stumbled into this tent. This is a stumble back, but he kept his footing. This guy shook a little bit, and although he's farther away, but he's watching these guards. You can't really, you're too involved with what's going on. The two guards behind you, can't really notice what's going on with them, but you have not detected them running up on your heels.
I'm assuming they just were like, "Hey, we're close enough to the exit."
Let's just see how this plays out. These two up here they don't leave their post because they're already back against the wall, but all that you see visible are looking between you guys and the big guy. Now the big guy doesn't flinch, but you have seriously shaken the resolve of all the rest of them. And which will affect their ability here in a bit. And the big guy turns to face you, though he doesn't leave his position where he's at. And he looks at his men and, come on, guys, are you gonna cower from this? He's looking for his countrymen.
Bane. Hit him with an axe in the face.
Hit him with an axe in the face.
Drop him like a sack of potatoes. That'll solve the problem real quick.
You want to see your countrymen? We can take you right to them. And you'll be digging the pits with the rest of them.
Yeah. Axe in the face. Axe in the face.
Yeah.
That's what you're muttering out the corner of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if he says that, well, if I'm going to be digging something, friend, it's going to be your grave. And I'll throw an axe in his face.
Okay.
And I'm going to charge the guy.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that was just a surprise axe, but I'll charge him.
Yeah,
as well.
right. I mean, we can both.
Yeah.
Whatever. The minute the axe flies, I'm charging this dude. Take him out. I think the others will kind of like,
Let me throw some stuff into a combat tracker here.
Axe in the face. Axe in the face.
Yeah. Dwarven hospitality.
All I'll be doing is digging my axe out of your face.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just thinking of... The only thing I didn't prepare for is exactly how I'm going to handle all of these bandits in a combat tracker. Let's see. I mean, I'm not going to attack for them individually. You can be sure of that. But well, he needs to go in. I think I know how I'll do it. Let's see how cumbersome it gets.
All of you bastards who don't want to end up a red smear, lay down your weapons. Negotiations are over.
I guess negotiations are over. I think
Well, we gave them our ultimatum. You know, at least this guy refused. But you know, the others can still take it up.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, stay out of the fight. You're cool.
hold on.
No
Okay,
harm, no foul.
those two. All right.
This guy
What-
made his decision.
What I will do is that those that end up near each other, when it comes their turn, I'll just let one of them in the group attack and then skip their turn. Don't worry about it. It's for me to deal with.
Oh, I guess before I completely obliterate this man, did we? I know we were talking about taking him out, but he probably has information. Did we want to take him alive?
Oh, I'm sure someone else has information.
Oh, fair enough. Just thought of a pertinent question before I.
Yeah, no, I mean he's kind of going to be one of those guys. Probably who's not going to give you information anyway. You know.
He does look like that kind of individual.
I mean, because right now he would have just given it up at this point anyway and said, you know, it's not worth the fight. But he's gonna be a true believer kind of guy. All right, tough guy. You know,
Okay.
axe the faith.
Well, I'm going to allow for your axe to be the opening volley. The other rangers are not in place, so that'll be the only opening volley from your side is that axe.
Okay.
And then we'll go into regular combat. So,
Axe.
um,
To act question.
yeah, I'm already not liking the coding for Talendale because it doesn't allow me to show his stance. Okay, that's all right. I'll get by.
Regular axe. No. I mean, I don't have to take it, Haragram, but I am curious if you're whispering of throw an axe into his face is considered help. Are you spending a hope on that, or you don't have to? I'm just curious.
Oh, no, I think it was just a suggestion.
Okay.
Strong suggestion. You know,
All right. Wonderful. Good to know.
to his face.
Okay. So I got that.
What are you waiting
that.
for?
Well, it's just a flat roll unless anything else. So I'll just roll flat. We'll see what happens. Oh, that one came real close to his face, though.
Wow. Into the back wall here.
Which I'm sure scares the living. It makes that guy jump.
That does. He's already on edge. And then the only retaliate. You're all very close. You can all get to your targets. At least the ones that are on the campfire here in the same round. The only retaliation that they're going to get, because they're not really ranged people, is him. Come on, boys, let's take him down. Combat has begun. Change your stances.
You know what? Why mess with a good thing?
Token.
I would like to.
He's going to go forward, of course. Dwarves would be anything else other than forward. Agamondale's going to go forward. And Fulvus will stay where he's at. Agamondale's running up to this guy. Token's running there.
Well, each of them has 3 groups of dwarves, right?
Yes, they are. Talendale's going to watch behind. Wanderer, where would you move? See, are you in... Oh, you're staying in rearward stance.
Sorry, I didn't change it. I was I've got my sword out. I'm not. Move to this guy. He's the closest one.
All right.
Those are all avenues covered
Yep.
in theory.
In theory, yes. Okay. I just want to say, going into this, it might be ever so slightly slower in combat, but just because there's a lot of players on the page here, but even with my grouping up of people, but just know that your awe and intimidation, well, awe is being factored into what's going on with them, so it wasn't a waste. But I'll leave the game mechanics out of it. Okay. Bane and Hairbrand, since you were at the top of it, I will let you start us off.
Axe. All right. Well, I don't see why I wouldn't. So there we go. All right. Unless I get bonus dice for something, this is what it would be.
Before you roll it,
Okay.
make it. These are abilities. Make
Okay.
it ill-favored.
Ah. Worst.
Although,
Got it.
knowing the way you hit with all your skills, I'm sure you'll still be successful.
Well, we hope. We'll see.
So I shouldn't jinx it. I'll shut up. See? What's this?
Still no Pierce, but I'll take it.
It didn't come out ill-favored. They only rolled
Oh,
one
I thought-
feat die.
Oh, well, it took the lowest. I clicked worst of it.
Oh, usually it shows them both on the coding. But it is a 3.
Yeah. I don't know how much lower I could have rolled at that point.
Yeah, well, even if it was, I mean, it'd only be an Eye of Sauron, but you're not weary,
Yeah.
so you still would have. Yeah, you still would have hit. All right, and with an extraordinary success. Jesus Christ, 24 points of damage.
Yeah, I crack him real hard.
I
was
guess. I guess you do. Well, I thought I had a challenge for you guys.
Yeah. He talks about me digging with my folk. That's not a thing I'm fond of. He can take that.
Saul, forgive me for modifying this phrase, but hell hath no fury than a dwarf scorned.
He's still there though, right?
He is still there, but he is quite surprised from the attack here.
All
Quite
right.
surprised
Well,
when he axed his
how's he
chest.
gonna like this one? Let's see. And I yell a Dale.
God damn.
So let's see. And slash into him.
Did you also roll ill favor?
No, he only spent that for one attack.
Oh, he spent it against me. That was probably smart.
Well, I was terrified.
Yeah.
Well, although he wouldn't let that on. And I was just checking. I can't spend another point. Because you guys have hope. Enemies have hate. Or if they're human, they have resolve. And that's what caused that. Oh my god. Well, I thought this would be intimidating, but...
Jeez. Takes the axe and my axe and your sword.
Yeah.
That
That's
was really quick.
Which of you bastards wants it next?
Oh my god. Hold on, let me mark him dead out of the...
Yeah,
Oh my god, you guys.
I roar in Dorvish.
And I was looking at stuff earlier today and thinking, am I going to kill my players with this? Nah. Alright, Wanderer. I'm going to let players who are present, no disrespect to Chris or Unicorn, but players who are present go first before the
Okay.
others.
Well, since it's decided we're just attacking everybody, I'm gonna attack this guy in front of me using my sword.
Well, to be fair, they can stop at any time.
Yeah. Well, crap.
Somehow, in his stumbling, he managed to kind of dodge out of the way. Yeah, in his fear. 'Cause he's still kind of moving backwards a bit here. Angamandil. And then I'll roll for the dwarves. And will have his sword out as he usually does. And he's successful, but he only does a single hit.
I feel like these guys aren't too much more than a single hit for that.
Yeah, they're not like the big boss.
Red smear.
A red smear. Alright. And I'm going to have Fulvus roll again. There we go. Great success. Hops over that low wall, and that low wall sneaks into this bush. And that's where I'll leave him for now. And then the Dogen.
Dogen and friends.
Dogen and friends, yes, let's keep that. So he's going to get a +2 with his axe.
Later tonight on ABC, Dogen and Friends. Ooh, that's a nice one. Mr. Brandy Buck.
And Dogen gets a standard success, even with the bonus there, but still. 6 points. And he is wounded. Alright, and Logan. Attacking this dude onto the side with and Logan and Friends. That's the rival show on NBC.
Yeah.
A very
Yeah.
special Logan and Friends.
At the same time.
Crossover, yeah. He's got,
Yeah.
he's got, you know.
Yeah. Hits with the same result. Same amount of damage. I forgot my sound effects. I keep forgetting them every time, so... Unfortunately, I can't code it like the alien coding to where it happens automatically, but oh well. Alright, that's those two. Tolendale's going to keep his ground because he's worried about what's behind, and the
These
Rangers...
two guys.
Yeah, well, they haven't moved yet because it isn't their turn, but that's what he's watching. Tolendale's not a young man, mind you. So he's not really like charging into battle mode anymore, but he can still hold his own with the sword. Alright, that is all the allies. So we move to the enemy. Those who are engaged, stay engaged. This guard
Oh, I guess I
comes,
could movement, huh?
this guy
I guess
comes
I'll-
running up.
Dead man walking.
Yeah.
That's what I say as he comes up.
um,
Who knows? Maybe he's running up to nicely give you his sword and surrender.
No, got one last chance to do it.
you see someone pop out of this building up at the top there. These guys come running up from the back. Guy
This
comes
guy
out
looks
the
tough.
door. And one of that lot comes running up. And that's the movement done. And so this one is going to, this one here is going to target. Actually, could this guy get closer? No, he couldn't. That's as far as that one. This guy can get. This one is the only one that can attack who's just moved up, but then the others who are close can go. But let me go with Herobrand first. And he
So you've chosen death.
has a spear. And because you were forward stance, he does get a bonus. Oh!
Ooh, did a little
And
damage.
he does 4 points to you.
All right. Well, now you just pissed me off.
Oh, you shouldn't have done
That's right.
that.
All right,
Wanderer,
like Sarah. So you've chosen death.
Well,
also a spear.
This man's scared out of his wit.
And Wanderer gets hit
Same
for 4
thing.
points.
Same thing.
oh,
They're pretty good with their spears. Okay.
They're pretty good with their spears and being afraid.
Yeah.
Only they use their spears for goodness. For
Yeah,
justice.
we'll see how long their morale lasts. It's severely damaged as it is. Alright. And Angamandil. Failed. Missed him. He shoved through a spear and Angamandil ducked from that. Can anyone else attack? Ah, yes. Logan and Dogans.
Fighting 3 dwarfs.
Yeah. Oh dear.
uh-oh.
What happened?
Not that one. That was the failure onto Angamandil. You got an extraordinary success
Against.
against
Oh, there you go.
Angamandil, or against Dogan. And he would go heavy blows. And Dogan's got to make a protection roll. He protected himself, so he only took damage. He didn't get a critical. But he did take a lot of damage. 13 points.
Dogan and Friends is in danger of being canceled.
But NBC is happy with their Logan and Friends then. 1-5. Okay. And I'm gonna mark him as. Okay, that's him. And then I got one more to do, and that will be Logan. And. Single success, but oh, because his he got an automatic piercing because he rolled for the enemy when they roll an Eye of Sauron. That's like you guys rolling a Gandalf. And Logan's armor protects him as well, so only takes 4 points of damage.
The dwarven form. Dwarven one.
And let me reduce his. Okay. Oh, it's not that damaged, but that's what happens. There, get rid of that. There, just a little blood on the side. Okay, that is the adversary's done. It is now top of the round. You can change your stances if it is relevant.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Herobrand, you were right there. That guy's run up on you. I think it's relevant for you to go first, and then
Right. Well. Oh, I need to select. I'm sorry. There we go. Let's roll.
oh, look at that! You guys are always.
I think Gandalf can help you. Yeah.
Remember that
Do
a
I,
few sessions back, you guys got 3 extraordinary successes in a row.
Oh, I think I
screenshot.
spelled my choice of
Oh, it's not there anymore?
yeah.
Is it behind character sheet or anything?
No, because unfortunately, yeah, no. So what? So it's probably. What can I do?
Well, you can look on the. God damn it.
On this thing.
Special damage on the screen. So you've got heavy blow, which is your strength and damage, which you
Okay.
can do twice. Let's see. You got a Gandalf, so you've already got a piercing blow. I already know how this is going to go, but I just wanted to see what you chose just for story
I guess
purposes.
heavy blow. Let's heavy blow. So just do damage twice.
Okay, then. How do you want this guy to die then?
Yeah.
I say I say you should have just stayed back, son. And I cleave his head from his shoulders.
Each of these things makes everyone. The eyes are getting bigger of your adversaries.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
And then I point at this guy over here, the guy with his back against the wall.
Oh, this guy here.
Yeah, and I say, "You're next, son."
Eyes are bigger. Okay, Bane, you're currently covered in a little bit of blood from, and it's not your blood. And then Wanderer.
Well, I suppose since Herobrand's claimed the other one, despite the man at his back, I'll charge this one.
Okay. And you and Wanderer can both go at the same time here.
Okay.
Who are these?
Yep.
Are these guys here that you just went past, or who are they?
They're like village.
The green,
captives.
yeah, they're captives who are like huddled now down together close to the fire. Actually, let me move them. But go ahead and make your attacks, guys. Great success from Bane. And extraordinary. Look at you guys. Look at that. Extraordinary from Herobrand. Great from Bane. Extraordinary from Wanderer.
Oop, I don't know why I'm targeted. Alright.
And his armor did not beat. Bane
Wanderer.
and Wanderer, how do these two die?
I'm gonna stick my sword just right through his throat above his armor.
Ooh. Yeah, that makes sense because his protection roll failed. You found a weak spot. And Bane?
I'm going to be yelling in Dwarvish, but I'm going to go, "For Thorin! Forever!" And I'm just gonna slam into this guy into the wall, and you hear my axe hit the back wall through him.
Oh, and then crunch. All right. Uncle Mandil.
Which I hope inspires the dwarves.
Yes. Let's do. Let's see. That was the sound. That's the critical hit for a sword. That's Wanderer's sword. All right. Ungamundil and sword. Wait a minute. There it is. Come on. Sorry, Unicorn. You got me rolling for you. At least you're not being hit. Alright, and Fulvus.
Tiptoeing around dead bodies.
Yep. He's He's coming up to the corner. He's hiding behind that rubble there. Because there's a guy in front of him. And let's go for Dogen. Well, 6 points is regular standard success. Still hasn't killed him, even with his bonuses. It's because I'm rolling, that's what it is. You need bonuses just to get enough successes to hit. Alright, and Logan.
Wandorf and friends, you heard my yawn. You heard my roar.
Same thing! God. Exact same roll. But it's two rounds in a row. That's how it went with them. Alright. And let's see. That's all of them.
They are brothers.
Talendale runs up and is going to engage. Yeah, they are brothers. Let's see if this works with his coding. I'm not sure if it will. I think it might. It does. It's a great success. And I forgot to give him a bonus. Let me roll one more die. Let's see if it's a... It's a 6, so he got an extraordinary success.
Oh.
Because he has a ranger with him. So...
He's with this. With our tactics.
Yeah, he is. His damage. What was his feet die? No, not enough. 12. I'm just gonna go with the heavy blows. Piercing wouldn't have done anything for him. Didn't kill him, but he's severely wounded. And let's see.
Fulvus doing anything?
Fulvus is... Actually, you know what?
He says boo, and like a ghost, this guy runs off.
Yeah. Well, he was going to sneak up with the prisoners.
Yeah.
What would he do?
Been trying to make a protective barrier for him.
I could see him trying to get to the prisoners, and if they're bound, freeing them from their bonds.
Yes, he would. That's exactly what he would do. He'd run right up into it now.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see him busy cutting their bonds. From off screen, off to the east, forgot to select the target. What the? Oh. Forgot to add. There we go. Now we can go.
Yeah, are the other Rangers in
Yeah,
action?
you hear this. They do stack. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to do that. There's not an orc horde coming in. Sorry. Suddenly.
Yeah, uh-oh.
This is taking a turn.
Yeah.
And this one goes down completely off here to your
Okay.
right. From somewhere outside the compound.
Okay.
And then you see 3 rangers step into the gate and nod. And that is your actions. Yes, that's everyone. Okay. Out of this building, they're kind of backing to the door, or the gate, sorry. At least those who aren't actively engaged. This one turned to see, and then he saw his compatriot go down, and then there's 3 rangers. So he's,
What do we do?
yeah, they are like between a rock and a hard place here, quite literally. This guy is trying to move this way to run because he's next to an angry dwarf, and he's been marked for death by a man of Dale. And I'm going to, just the ones who are engaged, I'm going to let them attack. Because they can't really get away that very well. Angamondia. Oh.
They can easily get away. They only have to lay down their arms.
Yeah. Okay, but they're in the heat of it, and
Oh yeah. This guy looks special.
oh wow.
Tonight.
Wow. Nearly got through Angamondio's armor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn it. Does make him weary. And let's see. Token. God, he even had a negative and he still hit him. Oh, Token's armor protected him once again. 5 points of damage to him. Well, you guys aren't taking so much damage other than Angamondio, but... Which, I need to mark some blood on him. Alright, and Logan. I think that's the last of it. Oh, and Talendale. Need to do him. And then that'll be it. Wow. his armor protects him as well. But he still takes some damage. They're like neck and neck. Logan and Dogan are doing the same damage and receiving the same damage. They keep up, they compete in a weird sort of way. I've taken 2 sword hits! Alright, and then we have Telendale, and that'll be it for their actions. Oh, except for one more. There's one's going to attack Bane, but we'll get to that. Alright. It's not a wise move on his part, but it's going to happen. Oh, and a great success. Alright, sorry guys, I'm doing as fast as I can. Talendale's taking some damage, and last but not least, this guy's gonna come and try to avenge his friend. Again, not a smart move. But he is quite skilled. Single success, 4 points of damage.
Oh, right.
And that is their attack, so it is now your round. Change your stances if you wish.
I'll stay right where I'm at.
Just for this round, I might change, but I have to figure out if I just want to make sure I can, because there's only certain things I can do in certain stances, so one moment, please.
Yeah.
Combat times. No, looks like I can do that next. That's good to know. Alright. I shall do that. And I will move to a defensive stance. For probably the first time in his life.
Ben, you need some help over there?
No. I just perceive something happening because I have to do something with my next action.
Okay.
I'm like, no, I'm good. You take care of the ones on you.
Forwards.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to let that guy run away and just have him fear for his life. Or does anyone need any help?
One of the doors might need some assistance.
All right. Wanderer and Herabrand, you're in forward stance, so you can choose your actions and act upon them.
Can I move and attack? Or
Yep. You can move up to twice your strength in meters and still attack.
I'm gonna move up here to this guy that's giving Agamandil a difficult
yeah, that's
time.
what okay. You're gonna take him? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I thought he might need some help because there's this other guy there too, who.
No.
That's a piercing blow.
Sure is. And protection roll. And he does not. And how do you take him out? Wanderer, how do you end this bandit's life?
He was probably looking towards Agamandil and didn't see me coming, so I kind of find a spot on the side of his armor, probably up close to his armpit, and just run my sword right through it.
Okay. Herabrand.
Yeah, I guess I'll charge up to that guy since I told him I don't want to be a liar. So,
No, can't have that.
so here we go.
Wow. And his failed too. So how do you take him out? He's running.
I just run him through with the sword.
So he looks down and sees this blade come through his chest.
Yeah, kind of like, not if I stick you first. Yeah, right.
Okay. Other forward stance. Uncle Mondale runs forward. And then your defensive stance, Bane, so we'll get to you in a moment. Come on. Let me do Unicorn Proud. What? Oh, we got two things. There we go. Forgot those guys come on later. And now I'll do it again. There we go, finally. Yes. Seeing Wanderer take out the one that he was fighting, couldn't have that happen.
It inspires him. Yeah.
And
Even weary.
And he removes the head of this one, even though he is weary. He managed to succeed. And other forward stances. Token. Heavy blow.
Nice, dope.
Cleaves him straight down the top of his skull. Rah! Or was it him and the other two with him? Which is Einar and Keely. And let's see, Logan. Go, there we go.
They're just trying to one up.
Oh, you can't have that. Look at, they're just neck and neck. Cuts down his shoulder, just kind of separating his arm from the shoulder. And I believe, yes, we go to, technically Fulvus is going to be an open stance, but he's untying. Go to Bane then in defensive stance.
Bane, seeing as his companions had taken some hits, was going to sing. He was going to sing a song to bolster his allies. And my song. I forget what is it a 1 to the result or 1 for bonus dice? Since it's in Rivendell, I've made it.
It's bonus dice for its use. It's to your song roll.
Wonderful.
Automatic success.
Yay.
And
No one is weary.
yes, okay.
Isidor su casa.
All right. Are you going to attack while you sing?
Oh, I can? I didn't think I could. That's why I took defense. But that's fine.
Well, if you, a combat task, so if you were in open stance and you used in Hearten, which isn't what you were doing, that would take the role of an action, a main action. But this is singing is not counted as anything like that. It doesn't. There's nothing in the rules that mention that. I just figure you're singing kind of wholeheartedly while you're swinging an axe, but you're calling.
Well, then I thought it took me an action, but I shall swing my axe if that's the case. Although it's going to be in defensive mode, which.
Yep, it's going to give you a negative on there, but still.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll give him a fight.
Well, you've been rolling.
And this guy swung at me, so I shall attack it.
Oh. Although it doesn't matter. Did you select piercing on your bonus there?
I believe it did.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I'm thinking, because you rolled a Gandalf, I think you got an automatic piercing, which isn't
Yeah, I
going to
don't-
matter because the end result is the same, but I think you could have chosen another one on top of that. Like instead of piercing, you could have chose heavy blow.
I think if it's Gandalf rune, it might, because this is, I think, what Ren ran into. I think it auto pierces because I didn't see a pierce option. It just gave me heavy blow. So I'm assuming it just auto pierced him.
Oh, I see. That's what it did. Okay. Well, still, the result is the same.
All it is with me. But I sing this song as I cleave my axe into this man's clavicle. It's about a foot deep.
And do you cleave it like in tempo with the song?
Yeah. Of course. And just because the rest would be movement. Yeah.
All right.
You can speak freely.
And I believe that's... Oh, no, it's not all of you. Raven. Raven and company. Oh, 3 points.
That's another arrow whizzes into this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 probably brushes him, actually.
Well, this is... She hadn't hit this one yet. She killed the other one at the gate.
Yeah. Yeah. For 3 damage, this one probably just takes an arrow sliding across him, not necessarily in him.
Okay, and... I didn't roll for Tolendale, did I?
No, but he also doesn't have a stance, so...
Yeah, it doesn't allow him to do it, so I'm going to just keep it in mental note. And I'm going to change things in the future for when I make NPCs, what coding I use. But for now, this works. I can still attack with him, but I can't... I don't think I can select the stance. No, it doesn't allow me to select the stance for him at all.
Weird.
Yeah, it is. All right. Ah, it succeeds. And the sword does 4 points, doesn't it? Because that's the thing, it doesn't keep his stuff in there. One moment. Armor, weapons. 5 points, that's what it is. And he separates his head from him. Okay, it's now time for the adversaries. And the adversaries have collectively a single idea. Run! And This one with you, Bane, realizes that running is probably not going to do anything. So he throws down his sword. And
Oh, good. Special looking guy. You made the right choice.
and this one in front of Raven throws down his sword. And coming out of this building at the top is clearly a blacksmith. And he comes out with his hands, to his sides, with no weapon in them. And I'm going to end combat. Fulvus has finished untying them.
One.
This all happening at the same time.
In usual demeanor, we shall gather the prisoners and load up the bodies into. We'll probably bury humans, but at least move them to one spot.
Fire isn't terrible either.
I was about to say, yeah, just burn everybody.
Although I would like to look for Mr. Bandit Lord to make sure he doesn't have any orders.
Okay.
After I wipe the blood off everything.
All right.
Yeah.
Can just excuse me just for a very, very brief bio.
Sure.
I'll be right back.
We can
Yeah,
ask them,
fairly
Bane,
well.
and we can ask them who is like second in command or whatever too. We could always ask them who here's knows anything.
Well, I'm particularly happy I caught this guy. He might be nothing, but he has a different picture than everyone else. So I was like,
Yeah.
maybe so.
Is he different than the one I just killed up here? I don't know. Was he?
Yeah, he is. Because this guy,
Mhm.
that guy is one of. Is there another picture? One of these guys.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So maybe he knows something. This
But,
guy was different though too, right? Or is he the same?
Which guy?
The one that Agamandal killed there, the guy that came out of the side.
There's a couple of them. Because he the one he killed, or the one, the
The
one that he just
blacksmith
killed.
maybe is like him. I think the blacksmith is like him.
Yeah.
All right, I've returned.
So this
Yeah,
guy,
maybe he knows something.
this guy I've never seen before. Which I was like, oh, he looks special.
Yeah, I have it set as a selects a random token when I drag them out. Sorry, he doesn't look any, more powerful or less than the others.
Oh yeah, I just haven't seen that picture before. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
Talendale
Yeah.
comes stumbling up.
no, that went fairly well. Only minor wounds for everyone.
He was hit pretty good, right?
Yes, Talendale, well, he's had a nasty wound, but he's going to be all right.
I think he was still less. I think he was still less damage than the dwarf parties, though. I think.
Yeah, well, Dogan and Logan, they took quite a bit, but they're dwarves, so they're a little bit better, but they're all right. Okay, so do you guys, the ones that have run out the gates, are you?
Bane will say to Talendale and the Rangers, if you wish to hunt them, the wilds are your field.
Sorry, say what to the Rangers? Sorry.
I said if they wish to go after them, the wilds are their fields. So they'd probably have a better time catching up with them than if we all tried to run after him.
Oh yeah. She nods. And,
There's probably only 3 or 4 of them too, right? Who ran away?
1, 2, 3, 4, 6 have.
Oh, okay.
but they're also running in the dark as fast as they can.
You know,
Yeah, and
they feel like chasing them. That's fine.
Logan's got these two. And let's see. Well, there's 3 of them.
Because I know you dwarves are wasted on long runs. You're made for sprints. Yeah, I know.
The ranger with Talendil goes running off to the west down this way.
Okay.
After those 2, and then Raven and her 2. So one of them goes running down south, and Raven and the other goes running up north, and they disappear.
In the meantime, I'll tell the dwarves, I'll say, check the rest of the buildings. Make sure there's no stragglers.
All right.
And you want to bring your prisoner over? Let's put the prisoners all in the middle.
Yeah. Well, they have a cage, don't they, somewhere? Yes, at least that's what, what's
Up
his name
here.
said?
Up there.
Yeah, so
And
let's
that
bring him in
cage.
there.
Yeah, can we get rid of the dark stuff now? The
dead.
no, the black.
No, I think he's saying all the hidden rooms.
Oh, you can't see the... Oh, yes, of course. Let me change that. One moment.
Just because I'm assuming unless there's more enemies, we know what we're dealing with in the buildings.
Should be able to see it all now.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, there's a guy. There's someone in there.
Yep.
All right, Bane, you want to
Right.
find that guy?
Yeah. So I guess we'll be putting our prisoners in here, and then it's like, oh, hi, guy.
Who's
These
that?
doors-
He's another commoner.
Are these
And he
doors
look-
or?
No, that's rubble. The doors are down here.
Oh, okay,
But
covered by good.
It's yes. Let me move the dead.
It
Okay.
just wouldn't let me.
Or
It was like, there's a wall here. I'm like, no, thank you. Where's the door?
This looks like a door, sort of up here.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I thought this was maybe a closed door. This rubble there. So I was like, ah.
Pilot.
Who's
Yeah.
blue? Whose color is blue?
who's blue? Oh, somebody who's still targeted.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
foresee that being a problem. You might want to target someone else.
It's Harebrand's target.
Yeah.
Pilot them all up. Getting the right one out of there is.
Well, I'm saying he could probably just target a new individual, but just so to get the targeting out of all the mess that's probably going to occur there.
Yeah.
So Harebrand, just target one of these guys and then untarget them, just so it's not in the pile of dead that's probably going to light on fire in a second or something.
There you go. Okay. Well, you easily find keys to this prison, and so this guy comes out. He's a little bit battered,
I'll send him out with the
but
other.
the
nice-
3 that Fulvus untied, they recognize him, and you hear they're embracing this. And you hear things like, "I thought you had died." And
So, where are these? Where are you from?
we were traveling up the Greenway.
From Bree?
Yes. We were waylaid not far from Bree, actually. And we're taken here.
Where were you headed?
Just on the villages there just north of Bree.
Okay.
We have family.
Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of look at them. Are you the only other prisoners you've seen? Have you seen other folk? Dwarves, maybe?
No, just us.
Which one of the which one of these here the ruffians? We know that one was the boss. Who else was in charge? Who else had authority?
They're all in here, by the way. They've been dragged to prison.
Let me put them in there first. That the big one there was the one who was ordering everyone around. The
Did
rest
anyone else?
deferred to
Yeah.
him.
Did anyone else seem to be like maybe his second in command or his right hand man or?
Not that we noticed. The three who were huddled there by the fire said, We've only been in here for like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And the guy who was in the room, the building, said, once I was here, I've been here a day, but they've kept me shut up in there this whole time, so I didn't really see much what was going on.
Okay.
Thank you. Who are you?
Well,
Oh, I think. Did you think you were questioning them or questioning the prisoners, Harebrand?
oh, I was questioning them
Okay, gotcha.
because I was just asking who they thought was, if they knew someone was like a second in command, or if we should focus on one guy to talk to over there.
Gotcha.
Were we? We're just a group of people trying to help other people out,
Well,
trying to fight the shadow a bit.
fate has looked kindly upon us. And we are blessed.
You're lucky, yeah. Have you seen any orcs about?
No, we have not.
Just the bandits, eh?
The one who was in the room, I heard them discussing the orcs, but I never saw any.
Well, what'd they say about the orcs? Anything particular?
Well, they mentioned to me that they were going to be sending me out to join the rest of the slaves, digging in the pits, whatever that means.
Okay.
But they said something else. I didn't quite catch all of it, but some sort of disagreement or conflict amongst the orcs. Some of the bandits were expressing some doubts, but the guy in charge, I managed to catch a look. And it was like it doesn't matter as long as the coin comes. I don't know what they were talking about. But that's all I heard. If I got too close to the door, that I'd get the butt of a spear in the head, which happened a few times, and he's rubbing his side of his head at the moment. Do you have any food?
Oh yeah. We give them some food.
Also, behind the doors over here, there is a pot of stew.
Okay. Well, let them go have some stew.
And
Yeah.
since it's human food.
Yeah, human it's gotta be. Yeah, right. It's not a
Yeah, I was gonna say as long as there's no eyeball floating in it.
right legs. That's good.
The woman who's here on the edge, she turns back. There's plenty here if others of you are hungry.
Oh yeah. I'm sure after we, or maybe even while we search, we could take some food. Search the dead bodies and the buildings and tents.
Over the next 30 minutes, Raven and the other rangers come back.
Dragging bodies.
And they just nod. You know, kind of like, you know, mission accomplished.
Good. Well, then that was easier. All right.
You said you're going to look through the buildings.
Yeah. So you
Yeah, the
did-
buildings and, I mean, all the bodies just in case, but I'm assuming the
Yeah.
only
Oh
one.
yeah. Did the leader have any papers on him or anything?
Yeah.
Going through his belongings, you do find a scrap of thin leather with some writing upon it, and it is written in Western.
Oh, well, that makes it easier.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be common for a human to know black speech, but it's not written very well. -2 for spelling. But
It's okay. We have some people that have +2 for deciphering.
yes. But what you're seeing is an arrangement for transport, and it's mentioning camps in the northeast of the transport of slaves. But it also
Okay.
mentions to increase the quotas. There's not enough. And
Does that kind of match up with our X's?
let me go back to that map.
If he mentions that specifically.
Whoops. Not northeast, east.
Oh,
Oh, due east. Okay.
Because that does ring a bell. Or you assume probably that's what they're talking about. Now, in the buildings and the tents, you're mostly seeing just, you know, sleeping arrangements. And the building in the northeast there is, they've set up as a blacksmith shop. There is a forge, an anvil, and then there's a workbench. There's a few weapons in there being repaired and a suit of armor being worked upon. Other than that, the usual trappings for a blacksmith shop.
Okay. Well, any weapons we'll give to the prisoners, to our freed prisoners, not our
Yes.
new prisoners.
Yeah, here you guys go. Sorry we killed everybody, but arm yourselves.
Yeah.
If they
Right.
prove to be somewhat willing, maybe, but that takes some trust we have yet to earn.
Yeah. So we arm the people we freed, so they have some weaponry. Like you said, I assume nothing's sticks out that it's like special or anything. It's
No,
just regular.
you're looking at some spears, a few clubs, and some swords.
Okay.
Probably some both.
Yes, there's a couple bows as well, though they never got used. Yeah, the 3 men of these prisoners, they arm themselves. Although the one who was in the room, you can tell he's quite weak. But able to move about.
So, do we find anything in any of those other rooms?
No, but you do find a total. You do find some coin.
Oh.
Not a lot, because, well, I guess all told you would find a few bits because they've been raiding caravans and being paid for their slaves. You find be a total of 4 treasure points.
Okay.
All right.
If that is something that you wish to partake of.
Well, I'd rather not leave it here to be taken by, potential enemy.
Fulvis
Or,
is.
well, unless,
Why don't we give
I
it?
guess I'll ask Talendil, though. Do we know, you know places that have been raided by them, no?
I do indeed, and he's tending to his wounds with one of the rangers.
Oh, good. Someone knows medicine. And I'll go, well, it's, unless anyone else has objections, it belongs to them then, the people that it was taken from. So,
I will see that it's
If you-
distributed, and we'll give some to our 4 here that we have rescued from death.
Sure.
Thane will nod.
And I'll remove the blood from
So maybe we
Tom.
should talk to these prisoners now. What do you think?
Yeah. Unless we find anything else pertinent in the immediate.
You find the only other thing you find is in this building in the lower left. It's probably the dwelling of the commander,
Okay.
and on the table in the center you do find a map similar to the ones you found with the orcs, except it's a little better drawn.
Oh, good.
The locations are ever so slightly different. Is it more accurate? You don't know, but it does look a little bit neater. But it does coincide with the marks. But only for the... Let me show you on the area door map. You only find... oh, you can't see that. That one. That one. And this one. So you only find 3 of them. The 2 purples that are closest to you, and then the closest red circle.
Okay. I guess we'll special mark those. I'll let Andy do that so it's not a mess.
Yeah, it probably still will be a mess, but I'll give it a go. Let me change the color.
I guess it's good we sent a scout because that one is still one of them.
Well, it will confirm things. I'll mark them in blue. Alright. Let me zoom in. Hopefully this doesn't go really crap.
Hey, I'll
Okay.
give the map. I'll give the map lovingly to Faultless, who loves maps.
Yes.
Yes, and while it's out, I would have made little notes on my maps as well, and then pass it along to Fulvis.
You know they get well worn when they're in his company, so.
Yeah.
Whoops, I did not mean... I was still on the drawing tool and I just drew a big shape on... what I meant to do.
I still can't remove that giant line of our travel.
Although, I doubt you're probably setting these bodies on fire right here in the middle, because you probably don't want to smell that right now, but
Yeah, no.
it's going to ruin some appetites. You can't remove the line.
Just nah, on the big map. Nah, it happens every time. Like after I put it up, it's like I'm immediately deleting it, I can never touch it again. It won't let me.
Interesting. Neither can I.
What?
It's a weird stipulation that I don't understand, but you know.
It shouldn't be that way. I wonder if it's.
I
You
mean,
have to like click and drag across the entire thing, not just a little piece
I
of it.
tried that.
I mean,
It wouldn't
if I
select it.
if I go over the line, like it shows like I can point, but it just won't let me like select it. Like unless there's some special way I can Like it turns my cursor from a cursor into a point, so like it looks like I can click it, but then it won't let me touch anything. So
Yeah.
all right.
Maybe when I added that module that gives more drawing ability, I wonder if that was part of the problem. I will look into that. Although it's kind of cool still seeing it because knowing where you've gone, but
Oh yeah.
eventually it's not going to be handy because you're going to be journeying different places. Of course, use different colors so you can see your travels. But yeah, I'll find a way, and if not, I'll just make a new map. I can easily do that. But it's all your notes, all the little text. We don't want to lose that.
Yeah.
Oh well. Well, I'll figure it out before next session. Anyway, back to the ruined village.
Ruined village.
Turned bandit stronghold.
They do seem to be repurposed for that quite a bit.
Yeah, well, in this area, that is a common thing because they're already partly defended. Though in this case, they encircled several to make a with their own addition. The palisade is, of course, new.
Well, if Talento's getting patched up, I'll send the others who need to be patched up that way.
Okay. I'm opening another document at the moment, but what are you guys wanting to do?
Well, I think we still have to question the prisoners to some
Okay.
extent. The enemy prisoners.
Short rest is 1 hour, right?
It is.
Okay. Well, since I had a little bit of damage, I'm gonna find a place to have a quick rest, take a sip of Mirepoix, gain some endurance, and lose some endurance.
Yeah, make sure you subtract the dose, please.
I will. Down to 2 on this one bottle.
Yeah, Dogan's recovered some endurance, and
I think it was Dogan, Logan,
yeah,
and
Agamandil.
Talendil.
And Talendil, yep.
Although what's nice is Agamandil is not actually weary.
Well,
Songs are...
does that only last the duration of the battle, though, I believe?
Yes. Well, the duration of the phrase of heroic venture or something like that. Weird phrasing. But yeah.
So I assume we all can rest for a short rest,
Yes,
probably?
everyone can do a short rest. And you can also choose during this rest to spend some fellowship points to gain hope.
I didn't take
So-
since the Mirepoix recovered 1 for me.
So how much endurance do we recover?
There's a short rest button on your character sheet.
Okay, and then it does it automatically?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason I haven't submitted is because if I'm getting given hope points, I could do it here. But
Oh, that's what I'm asking you as hope points, yeah. What's your hope at?
I'm at 3.
Ah.
No, you probably should get a couple, yeah.
I live on.
I spent 2. I wouldn't mind getting 1 back, maybe.
Okay, well, you've got 6. Fulvus
So
will
if
be
we get-
kind. He'll be fine with what he's got, I'm sure. So
And Wanderer, what do you need? Any help?
I'm up to 8 out of 10. The mirror war recovered 1 for me, so I'm okay.
all
Okay,
right.
so how about
Actually, here,
for hope.
let me just do a health report for you, so you guys can see.
Okay.
That's what they call it, health report. You can all see that, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah,
Ooh,
Bane.
yeah, Bane definitely needs some.
Yeah, Bane's a roller coaster of hope. He just like he spends it. He needs to. But he
Yeah.
also gains it.
You want to
So-
give maybe like at least 3 to Bane, maybe 4, and then I could get 1, and maybe Fulvus could get 1 or something.
Fulvus
Or
wouldn't take
Agamemnon
one.
could get 1. You know, or Agamemnon will get 1, something like that.
Agamemnon 1, Herobrand
1.
1, and Bane 3 or 4.
Yeah.
If you take 4, that's all of them, which you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I usually leave it up to others because I'm gonna be spending hope left and right. So
Yep.
it's up to.
Everyone else take it first. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I'll mark. Well, looks like we'll spend all of them right now, so I'm going to just mark your fellowship points as 0.
Well, I think it spends it if it's.
Oh, does it?
Yep. Now it's 0, so now I can't.
Oh dear. Well, just manually do it. I forgot that you could do that.
Yeah, that's why I didn't hit the short rest yet because
Oh.
it asks and any.
I hit it just before you did. Oh man, I wanted to see that coding work actually. Oh well. All right, let me give a hope point to Agamemnon. As soon as I find his hope points, oh there it is.
Agamemnon should still be weary.
Yeah, he's down quite a bit. Well, he's got 19 out of 24 endurance, but his load is 23, and fatigue
Yeah.
adds to it as well.
Armor and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
he's got some heavy armor.
You know, and
Um,
I'm not gonna lie, being a dwarf for the armor and the weapons, it does make my life significantly easier calculating.
He's got, well, his load is 23 because of his fatigue of 4. Yeah, he's also got close fitting armor and his helmet to lower the weight of them.
Yeah. You know, until I've played this game, the very beginning when I was making them, I'm like, really? Is the half off armor and weapons really gonna do that much for me? When I was
And
making the
it does.
choice. Yeah, quite a bit.
Ah, I'm glad I looked at this. Glad he didn't get a piercing blow. His close-fitting armor, Agamemnon, adds to his protection. It doesn't make it lighter.
Ah.
There's another thing that makes what armor lighter, but anyway.
Yeah, I think it's a cunning make.
Cunning make, yeah, I believe cunning make is what it is. All right. So, you've all kind of regrouped and had a bowl of stew. And you have 3 prisoners imprisoned. And night has definitely come on. Although it's very
Just so-
early in the evening.
I doubt he will, but just in case he's liable to bleed out, I'll toss him a cloth.
Ah, yes. So. It's good. Every time I watch that, I'm just like, what the hell did she make that stew out of?
I know, I'm like, you gotta be a pretty bad cook to screw something up that bad.
Yeah.
Well, the little globules of white stuff, I was like, what? Every time I watch those films, like, what the hell is that? Which is what the filmmakers were trying for, but they were successful. All right. don't like green food. And what is your plan, guys?
Well, I would like to, at least I would like to question these guys on what they know.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get some info from these guys.
Okay. Are you going to go in there with them to do so, or are you going to drag them out, or just talk to them through the
one
bar?
at a time. Let's do one at a time, because when we can play them off like, well, oh, that's not what your friend said. You know, that kind of thing.
All right. Which one first? There's the blacksmith on the left, who's a little
Yeah,
bit
let's talk
stronger
to the
than
blacksmith.
the others.
Yeah. Let's talk to the blacksmith.
Set him in the center of all these dwarves, in front of the fire. Some of these dwarves
Yeah.
are
and
watching
cover
the gate.
entrances. Yeah. Sounds reasonable.
But Vidar will stay right here, right over his shoulder, with his axe held out.
Oh, yeah. I'm assuming, I mean, I moved myself out because I'm assuming we're all going to be part of this questioning, so I'm assuming someone's watching.
Oh, yes. Talendale.
And I'm going to be, as we're questioning, sharpening my sword. It's just, you know, I don't know. If
Clean the
that's
blood off.
intimidating or not, but
Yeah, clean the blood off my axe.
I'm just like sharpening with a whetstone, you know, just. So.
You gonna kill us?
Who asked that? The blacksmith?
Yeah. If you're gonna kill me, then get it over with. I'd rather be done with it.
Well, you probably deserve it. Tell me why you don't.
Oh, I'm a blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a
How'd you get
crime
in-
to be a blacksmith?
How'd you get in? That's not the crime we're talking about. How'd you get in with these folks? You're not at a little farm or a little farmstead or a little village making nails and forging hooks and
Horseshoes.
and horseshoes for gentlefolk. How'd you get in with these people?
The crimes of my banishment from society are a long time ago. Gold was running with these guys, and so it's the best place to put my skills. It's that or starve.
Okay. Why were you banished? What'd you do? Be honest, you got nothing to lose here. I mean, it's.
Well, there's one thing left to lose, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're dead man walking as it is. So just tell the truth and.
Disagreements led to arguments, led to fights, led to death.
Okay, so you killed someone in a fight.
They don't take too kindly about that in Coombe.
Where is this now?
Coombe.
Do we know?
It's next to Bree. It's
In Combe. Oh, it's
Combe.
one of the little. Yeah, one of the
I think
Arctic
I think
Combe.
it's meant to be pronounced Coombe or something like that. It's but-
Arctic. Yeah, one of those little
But,
It's
things.
on the other side. From the other side.
All right.
Basically. Staddle and Archit and all
So
that.
so if we were to let you go, where would you go?
Well, not there.
Can't go back there, eh?
No. I'd probably wander off to the southeast, down the Weather Hills.
Well, I would not do that. There's a lot of orcs that way. However, like my companions insinuate in here, I believe, it doesn't have to end in death here, but we'd like to know information to start. And not just about your background. At least not in the long term. More short term.
What do you know about the plans that these bandits had, that you all had? What was the plan? What were we gonna do with these prisoners?
Well, we've been operating in this area for a while. You know, mostly robbing folk on the Greenway just to maintain the life. Slave traders was not really the order of the day. It wasn't
When did
something they
that
got
come in?
into.
Yeah, when did that come into business?
Over the past year, more and more orcs coming down south out of Angmar.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, it was skirmishes, but they realized we could be of help to them. They allowed us to continue to operate in exchange for gathering slaves for them.
Mm-hmm.
It was an uneasy alliance, becoming more and more untenable as time went on, as their demands increased. I can tell you it wasn't sitting well with a lot of the men.
Well, that's a point in your favor. So, do you know anything about where the orcs were taking these slaves?
East is all I know. There'd be...
You never visited any of these slave camps or anything?
No, there's always a meetup. There's some outposts of more of our people. Some old keeps. Slaves would be escorted there, and the orcs would collect them from time to time and leave coin.
Okay.
Any of these prisoners happen to be dwarves? I'll give them a look.
Yeah. Some time ago, there haven't been dwarves for a while, but yes. Earlier, several months ago.
Any particular dwarf stick out? Any, like, one seem important or anything?
He, surrounded by... He's got two dwarfs around him right now, but dwarfs all look alike to me.
Okay.
Fair enough. Now, what do you know about these orcs? One in particular, if you heard of him, Rock.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him. I've never seen him. Never seen him. I know the other orcs fear him. Some of the men that come back from delivering slaves overheard some talk of... I guess the orcs were arguing or something, and then some... But do you want Vrock to hear that, or something like that? I don't know.
Okay.
But it's...
Yeah.
My fellow... Some of the men, they described it as not quite the same as you back down from a leader. There's just terror in their eyes at the threat of Vrock knowing of any... I don't know, problems, I guess. That's all I know about that. I'm a slave to the smithy here, you know. I never really do any of the raids. I just keep the rest of the men armed and armored.
Did you hear anything about any magic or any any leaders with special skills, sorcerers, things like that? Anything like that?
No, man. Orcs.
Just orcs? Okay.
You, I've heard mention of some pits a couple times, I'll say.
Yeah.
Any idea where those are?
To the east. That's what they tell me anyway. That's where the slaves are taken.
The slaves go to the east to the pits.
Okay.
Guarded. Okay.
So not west. And what do you know about foremost?
That's where the orcs hole up.
Hmm.
But I mean,
You
prior to
live
the
around-
orcs coming, we never go there. Some say it's haunted. And those that do go don't. Well, as rumor would go, seldom seen again. Hell, years ago, the boss wasn't too happy with some of the bandits and took some there to the outskirts and told them to head that way to go in because they weren't welcome. Never seen them again.
Okay. I walk over to Bane and I whisper in his ear, I think this is all we're going to get out of him. What do you think?
So you're telling me after all this time, not some of you have explored it? Not even a little? No other ways in?
We'd sometimes, look into the outskirts. We're more interested in coin, not ruins. And to go
That's the point,
deeper, apparently there's rumored, treasures, stuff left from the old days, but only a few of us ever got brave enough to go in. And never came back.
Bane, you want to just let's question one of the others.
And what are these other two friends of yours in there?
There's just part of the crew, I guess. I mean,
Know anything about them?
not really. I mean, I just stay in the smithy. I don't even know the names of most of the men. A few, but
Looks at the fire.
yeah.
Alright. Bane, let's put him back in the cage and talk to another one.
Yeah. I just was wondering if he knew anything or if one of
Yeah.
them was like a particular raiding party. But yeah, okay. So if that's the case, and he knows nothing else. Good speaking to you.
Vidar gives him a bit of a boot. Come on, you.
We'll take which one do you want to take? We'll take the younger looking one, the one with the black hair. Oh.
Well, I think he has a black bandana. I think he has blonde hair. But yeah.
I can't tell. Okay. Whatever you say,
It's hard to
Bane.
tell, yeah.
He was wounded and probably
Oh
still
yeah,
is wounded.
you're right. He's got a black bandana. You were
Yeah,
correct.
he is still wounded. I just because you guys took a rest, so I gave him a short rest.
Yeah.
He's
All
holding
right.
up.
So same thing. Where are you from? How'd you join this crew?
I'm from here. I was born into it.
You're born in the brigand camp? In this camp?
No, we travel about.
But you were born. So since you've been a wee lad, you've been with these people?
Yeah. You want to know my life story before you kill us?
Yeah, pretty much. The longer you're talking, the longer you're living, so.
What's the point? If you're gonna kill us, just do it.
Well,
Well.
it depends on what the story we hear, maybe, you know? It's not a done deal yet.
Well,
Convince us why we shouldn't kill you.
my friend likes a tale. I like information. Have any of that for us, do you?
Convince us why we shouldn't kill you.
My, he's just like looks around at you guys. Well, my parents. God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Can't believe I'm doing this. My parents run with this gang.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know who my dad was, to be honest, but they're both dead now. But
Okay.
this is the family. It's all the family I've ever known.
Okay. So, being a bandit's all you've ever known.
Being a survivor.
That's the word we're using. Okay. Alright. Well, yeah, let's, what information do you have that's, valuable? Where, do you know anything about these, pits? Like, specifically where they are, or these slave pits? You ever been to one? Ever take prisoners to one, or slaves to one?
No, but I've taken slaves to meet with the orcs to trade for the gold.
Oh, well, I'll take a out on a map for that one. I'm
Yeah,
assuming
and
someone-
where would that be? Yeah.
You go. Hold on. Just east of here is a crop of trees. Just north of that trees, on the edge of the tree line, is a ruin.
Okay.
And I'll make a mark for you.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta select the right thing first. Let's see what crazy mark comes out. Nothing. Oh God, I knew that would happen. It wasn't doing anything, and then suddenly, giant
Yeah,
line. Okay,
Really
let's do
big,
it.
giant, yeah.
Seems to not
Can I-
like small line.
Oh, we need to do the shapes more often because you can, like he said, not make them big. You can just drag them down. Move. There we go. That's not quite right either. Hold on. Oh, I don't want to draw another. Oh, it's the wrong tool. There. That's where I wanted it.
Okay.
Approximately there's a ruin. We'd stay there overnight. The orcs would come at night. We'd crash out afterwards and head back with whatever gold they gave us.
Okay. Do you remember sending some dwarves that way?
Yeah. Months ago, actually. Well, a few months anyway.
Was one of them particularly fancy? Like, seemed to be an important dwarf?
Well, there were a few that seemed to have better armor, but they didn't go east.
Well, where'd they go?
The orcs mentioned something taking them elsewhere. a prize. I think they mentioned for the boss. But they didn't head east with him.
So which way did they head?
They went southwest.
Southwest.
My
Towards
guess.
Fornost?
Well, it's my guess they went to Fornost.
What do you know about Fornost?
Never been. Yeah. I don't hear good things about it, but I don't know if I believe all the stories. Until all the orcs came, I wanted to go and see what kind of spoils. I hear there's lots of relics from the ancient times. Maybe find me a good sword.
Hearing about any particular places within the city?
No. There's a castle, I guess. Or was.
So for any of these meetups, any nastier looking orcs? Perhaps one go by the name of Rock?
No. I heard him talk about him, though, but I guess he's he's in charge. I don't know. Most of my companions have dealt with the orcs. They're older than me.
I'm guessing none of the live ones.
No.
None of the live ones. Okay, good to know.
So you're gonna kill me now?
Yet to be seen.
We're thinking. We're still thinking.
What do you know about your other friends in there?
There's the blacksmith. It's pretty good. Sharpened my sword up really good.
And the other?
The other guy, I actually don't know him. He's only joined us recently. Well, a couple months ago, I guess, from a different group out east.
Alrighty, well, don't know if I have any more questions for him.
Have you sent any kids to be slaves?
I don't want to touch I don't want to do that with children. I don't. We haven't run into anything like that. They've not been in the caravans, thankfully. I don't know what I would have done if we would have.
So you haven't sent any that way?
No.
How about people that look like kids? Like, just your first roll list.
Yeah, we have sent. But the orcs, they were most happy when we sent them dwarves.
Who, when they said
Pretty chilling.
Yeah, when they said the boss, who did you think they meant?
I assume Vrock.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I've got nothing else to talk to this guy about.
So
If we let you live, what would you do? Since all you've done in your life is steal from other people, what's your plan? If fate smiles on you and we let you go.
To be honest, I haven't thought about it. Staying alive is that is my only focus.
Well,
Okay.
people stay alive without stealing from other folk, you know.
Well, stealing would not be the first thing on my list.
how long did these little folk come through here? Because he did say that the halflings came through here at one point, right?
Yeah, that was a while ago. Nearabouts the time we first ran into the dwarves.
Okay.
Thereabouts. A few months anyway.
And did you ambush the dwarves? Is that what happened?
Yeah. It was that, and early on, orcs would help us on these raids. That stopped a couple months ago.
What, they started burning farmsteads and such?
I don't know what they do.
Fair. Alright. Well, I guess there's one more person to question.
Oh, I have a question before he goes. If we were only to
Vito's
if we were only
about to kick him, but
yeah,
he
if
stops.
we were only get one of you live, which one should we let live?
Oh, jeez.
Me? I'm young.
And if it weren't you,
I just
They don't know each other. I'm assuming they just go off a skill, so probably the blacksmith.
well, maybe I just want to hear what hear how they view each other, sort of,
I would say the
You
blacksmith.
might say this other guy's a son of a bitch. You know what I mean?
The blacksmith was nice to me, so yeah.
Okay, all right. No, I mean they might say the third guy is like he likes to torture people. Who knows? Okay, all right.
Vidar,
Back in.
all right, you get up.
Let's listen to the third one. His story. Lunch story.
Remove whatever hood he has on there.
So before you ask the question, we haven't decided whether we're killing you or not.
Since everyone else.
But try to convince us why we shouldn't kill you. If you give us a good reason, we might not. Good reasons would be maybe a good story or good information. Better yet, good information. All right?
Yeah, I'll think of a story. Okay.
Where are you from? How did you get involved with this group?
Oh, is this the new guy you're asking this to?
Yeah. That's what I was saying before. Yeah, because he's gonna ask, "Well, you're just gonna kill me?" No, you got a chance here, so make it good, buddy.
Probably in the information department.
Yeah, it's good information.
I don't necessarily need. Bane at this point is like, I don't need their life stories, man. I just want
Well,
the
no,
information.
well, I mean, I feel, like I said, if they said, "Hey, they captured me, and this is what they made me do," or, like I can kind of sort of see the blacksmith. He's like, I don't really do anything except make stuff for them. It's you're bad, but you're ancillary bad. You're not the guy actually going out and burning farmsteads down. It's a little different. Anyway, so what's this guy's story? Where is he from? How did he get involved?
He looks at you and just spits on the ground.
Oh, he's the one we're killing for sure then.
Oh, jeez. Well,
he sits on the ground.
Yeah.
yeah. Bane goes, well, apparently you're from the east, so how about we start there?
I don't see why it matters to you.
It matters because I'd like information.
For a
Pertinent.
coward, for a coward who ran, you're pretty ballsy now, aren't you?
Was outnumbered. Of course I run.
You weren't in the beginning.
All right. Bane's gonna. If you have them, I want locations. I want numbers. I would like to know where other dwarves and halfling folk and these humans were sent. I heard mentions of the pits and what you know on Foremost. And I like it in short order and quick and precise.
You're quite demanding, aren't you?
I am, but I think I'm in the position at the moment. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh. You can ask your questions and think that you've gained something valuable, but I don't think you quite realize what you're dealing with here.
I have a feeling I have a slight idea with the name Vrock and orcs and Fornost and camps and slave pits, so I've got a little idea, but how about you fill me in?
So why don't you try and scare me? Because I'm very on the edge, you know. I'm easily scared. So just say boo.
Pits. Fornost. It's just tendrils. The full onslaught. It doesn't even come close. You have no idea what's coming for you.
I've seen some of the forces up on the Weather Hills and up in Rudar. I have an idea.
You're scaring me now. Tell me more.
I
Decide.
I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but groups are run without east. There are armies being built in the north.
You mean Angmar?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I haven't seen them, like I said.
There are armies, yeah.
You've been on.
These orcs, these we're dealing with, the advance, they're preparing the way.
Okay. And what? When you say armies, to me, that's like saying a forest to a lumberjack. So I don't really care about armies, just more people for me to kill. Why should I be scared?
I don't think you have the strength in numbers there, my friend.
Well, we've done pretty good with our odds so far.
If it's
But-
just orcs and men, you know, I'll take my chances.
Have you been on one of these escort parties, per se?
I have indeed.
So therefore you have locations. Also, you ever been to Fornost, particular?
No, I haven't been in the area long enough.
Ah. And I'll still take those other locations.
You'll,
What's
Yeah,
your
yeah.
name? What's your name?
you'll never stop them.
Mm.
You'll
Because?
never raise up to them at all.
Because
Sounds like a challenge.
Their
I'll
numbers, the orcs, troll kind, and
anything else? Anything worse than trolls?
there's rumors of
Because we cut through trolls like a hot knife through butter. I got to tell you.
armies of trolls.
Mm.
Trust me, we've already encountered them. They're still a ways away, my friend. Anyway, but again, I would like locations, and I will wait for one of our map people to just hold it far enough away so he can't spit, but so he can.
Yeah. So at that, I'll take out my map. Show us.
Here is where I operated in this area.
Back to the other map. Oh, he was way out there.
Wow.
And accompany my companions. We traveled west with the orcs. These markings you've got here. Oh, look, I moved your... Wow, now it lets me select it. Hey, well, I've got it selected. Let's delete it. Wait a minute, what was... But not the other one? Ah, hey! But...
Is it like a certain selection method? Is that why, maybe? Or I can't figure out
well,
why.
I did the same things I did earlier. But I don't want to... It's selecting your text, too. Oh, no, it's not. Wow, that was an accident. There we go. There's nothing there for... Come on, move. Damn it. It's there. And there's an old keep there they started building. We took some... Or people stupid enough to live out in that area. We delivered some there. And then we headed west with some orcs. And I ended up here. And this is where I'm stuck, and this is where I'm gonna die at your hands.
Where are you from originally? You from Angmar?
You know, humans live in Angmar.
Not civilized ones.
We traveled around Root Tower.
Oh, Rudar. Okay. Well. What'd you do before you or have you always hooked up with these folk? What'd you do when you were young?
I terrorized people.
I laugh. You? I laugh. Okay. All right. Hard ass.
So you're gonna kill me or what?
Shut your gob.
If you keep asking, I will. Just shut you up.
Feeder gives
Yes.
him a little kick to the back.
To be decided. Oh, Jesus. Alright, okay. Toss them all the rest of them.
You want to send them back in the pit there in the hole?
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Come
All right.
on, you get up. You're lucky to be alive this long.
All right.
And
Well-
Vidar spits in the once he shuts the gate, and he spits in it into the room through the bars. Looks
I
at
guess we
Bane
should
and
get-
nods his head.
Yeah, I'll nod back approvingly. I
All right.
I guess
so
we should talk to Talendil about this.
yeah. So the first two, this guy's asking to be killed, but
I think he's being a rough ass just because he thinks he's gonna die.
Yeah, but he's asking to be killed. But you know, it is sort of cold blood to just kill him now. So, but if the choice was which one to kill, it'd be him.
I suppose, but at this point,
What do
if
you
they're all
think, Wanderer? You agree?
gosh,
Hmm.
I mean, if there were one, I'm not saying we're going to kill any of them, but he's the least likable of these ones.
Oh, I'm not for killing anybody unless they
Right.
deserve it.
Right. I'm just saying he's the least likable.
Oh,
if-
likable is not a good enough reason for me.
No. I'm not saying we're going to kill him. I'm just saying it's on how we let him go. You know, I mean, it might be like the kid gets a spear and gets told, you know, something, and the other guy gets something, and this guy gets, you know, he's walking in his bare feet and his, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm
Like-
not adverse. Well, I'm actually not adverse to Agamondil's idea because these three think. I mean, I have no problem with them helping us if they're willing to help us because numbers help. And if
Yeah.
we're and whether that's with
Yeah,
going with
yeah.
us or whether it's going with Talendil somewhere, I don't care. But
I'm saying I would trust the other two to help us. Perhaps I'm not sure I would trust this guy to help us.
I think the third one's just a hard ass, and you point a direction, he'll go. So he's more of a I take orders sort of man.
So what do you? So if they're going to help us, how are they going to help us?
I
They're going
mean,
to be with us the whole time.
well, that's
You're
what
gonna
I'm saying. We should discuss with Talendil.
Yeah,
and get his input on.
You would trust these guys to
He's there.
like guard duty while you're sleeping? I'm not sure.
I mean, I trust that they're not going to succeed in stabbing me in the back if that's what you're asking.
I don't know.
Talendil
What
steps
do you think-
forward
what do you
here.
think, Wanderer? Yeah.
My people could take these three to justice in Bree. If they're from that
That
area
seems
and they've
most
raided people
reasonable.
from the Greenway,
They did.
I guess the question there, Talent, is: do you think that's the course of action we should take?
they deserve
At this,
justice, needs to be served. And we have more pressing matters.
Wanderer, your opinion?
I say send them with Talendil to Bree for justice. I don't know if I trust them at this point to come with us.
Yeah.
Well, I think the issue is he just said that we have more pressing matters, so I think he doesn't have time. The
Oh, okay.
Is that what he's
my-
saying? That he can't send him to Bree?
Well, no, he was referring to all of you.
Okay.
There's
But he still wants to send him to Bree. Send
Yeah.
him with-
what I mean is that there's
Doesn't waste time.
there's orcs to deal with, and
Yeah.
let Bree handle the justice for these. Bree and Combe.
I have no problem with that. The only other suggestion I have is if they're willing to prove themselves, so and so clear the name to some extent before that time comes. Might be some mitigating factors.
I don't know. I'm fine with sending them to Bree. That's fine. Again, it's out of our hands at that point, and
Better than babysitting them
Yeah,
and worrying if they're going to stab us in the back.
just like leaving them in the woods was out of our hands, huh?
it
Those
is
guys were
out of our
tied to
hands.
a tree.
So I think they probably deserve death. I mean, if they If they don't get it, that's fine. I mean, but they deserve. Do they deserve it? Probably. You know, what's the case that they don't? They've taken slaves. They've been brigands. They've killed people. I'm sure on the Greenway. So the only one who probably personally hasn't done that is the blacksmith, but he's aided and abetted. So do they all deserve death? Probably. So if they go to Bree and they get death, then they get death. Or if they don't, they don't.
I mean, if
But-
you won the votes, you won the votes. But I'm thinking that they'd be more assets than sending the assets away. I'd rather use the money than burn the money.
Well, I think I'd have to be watching them too much. If one of them had a good enough story that I really thought they mitigated their crimes.
You and stories, jeez.
Well,
Yeah, you want
what else
his mother to have been murdered. He grew up in on the streets.
You'd sleep next to the guy who murders everyone and smiles?
Did he say he murdered everyone and smiles? Or did he say that, my circumstance was that? I mean, every one of them gave you the story, my circumstance.
Whatever. They could have convinced me of something, perhaps. The only one that I said that I could maybe buy would be the blacksmith, because he got in a fit. He has an anger issue. He hit somebody, killed him, maybe ran away, and now he's stuck.
It gave a good enough reason as the blacksmith to me.
What?
The kid gave a good reason as any for the blacksmith for me.
The other one, like I said, the other one was an asshole, and I would want to be around him anyway.
Send him to Bree.
Yeah, send him to Bree. It's fine with me.
Because Agamemnon said he
Yeah,
wanted to
they're
be a us, so.
Yeah, Agamemnon pipes up, because I was just recalling what Unicorn had said. We presented the case to them, standing up to the shadow, and they turned that down. We can't trust them to help us on a raid in Fornost. We gave them that option.
I just thought they turned down our surrender. They didn't turn to help us. They just dropped their weapons immediately. I mean, if you want to give it to them again, and if they say no, I mean, then we can set them free.
Well, no, they'll say whatever it is, probably to save their life at this point.
Yeah, I'm saying that we probably cannot trust them.
Yeah, I mean, if one of them came out and immediately threw his weapons down the minute and said, "Thank God you showed up," or turned against their vote. Finally, I can do something right, or I don't know. But no, I can't trust these guys. I'm not going to trust them. These three on guard duty while we all sleep. Yeah, please.
Well, that's not what I was suggesting, but okay.
Moral dilemmas.
Well, Bree. I say Bree. I mean, there's a justice system.
I say give them a choice. There's justice in that, too. If they die on the front lines, they die anyway.
For a killer, you're so soft-hearted.
No, I just think of useful things rather than throwing them away into the waters. Called tact and strategy.
Yeah. Well, at this point, you have a difference of opinion. I think we have to vote then. Or I guess the choices is Bree, or try and get him to help us.
I'd rather.
Those choices?
If given the choice, I'm gonna go in and give them the choice.
Are those the choices that we're talking about, though? Is that correct?
No, I'm saying I'm gonna go in and talk to the prisoners.
Well, okay, and say what?
They're willing to help us. If not, if they say fuck
Okay.
you, then
Okay. But here's the thing. I don't want you to say that if we're all going to say they're going to Bree anyway. See what I'm saying? I can't hear you. Oh.
Can't either.
So, I mean, okay, so run out and turn on. His fuse, his his breaker went off, so he has to turn it back on. So what is everyone else's opinion? Well, which would, I guess would just be technically now would be yours, Wander. You want to send him Bree?
Yeah, because
Because you don't trust him regardless.
yeah, I feel like they would have surrendered and agreed to help us from the get-go.
Yeah, so that
And
might,
now they would say anything
that's my
to
point.
escape
So
justice.
don't go tell him, hey, you can save yourself by helping us, because if we're just going to vote and say no, you're going to Bree. So, I mean, is there any other options that anyone had out there? He wants to go talk to him and see if they'll work for us. I mean, he could present that to him and say that could be a mitigating factor when you go to Bree. You know, you can present that to the authorities in Bree that you want to help. I guess, right? I mean, that they can always say that. But I think those are the only two choices we're offering, right? We're offering you help us, or you get sent to Bree and they'll deal with you one way or the other. We're not offering here you can go off, wander off on your own, right?
Yeah, I don't say just cut them loose, because
Right.
they're gonna find the next band of orcs or whatever
Right.
to.
Or say, yeah, we're not saying like you better head south, and if I ever see you again, you're dead. You know, I mean, we're not offering those kind of options, right?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Uncle
All right,
Mondale,
Yeah, what's he think?
remember they have mentioned multiple times, well, so did Tallendale here,
Yeah.
that there are outposts of bandits.
Yeah.
If we set these
that's
three
sort
free,
of-
they'll run straight to there
Yeah. Right.
and alert
All
the
right.
orcs to our presence.
All
So,
right. So
I don't think we can trust them to come with us. And
or go.
I think an escort to Bree. But hear what that is. That means one or two amongst us, the Rangers.
Yeah. Maybe Talendil and Raven or something can take him down.
But that's two less that we have in our little army.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can't really do. I mean, it's either that or the only way that we don't. So, we either put him in our army and not trust him, or we take two away from us to send them down to Bree. Because the other option would be to just kill him, and that we're not. No one wants to do that. No one. I mean, morally, none of us have it in us to just kill him in cold blood here.
This man
Right, I
steps
mean-
forward from the fire. I'm down here by Fulvis. If it's escorts you want,
Oh yeah, they could. Yeah, that's true. They could escort him down. How many of them is
I mean,
there?
you think they
That
could
would
do
be
it?
a good choice too, because they were captured by these guys.
Yeah.
I guess, but the question is, do you think they could hold them? Because if you don't trust them while we're
We
sleeping, you
chain
think
these
they're gonna...
guys. If we put manacles on these guys or whatever, yeah. And with these other guys are armed now.
I mean, I'm assuming they didn't walk down the Greenway undefended, so it means they were
No.
de-armed.
Yeah, but there were more. I mean, still, these guys, if they're tied up and stuff, and all right, I say they go. I say our freed prisoners take them to Bree, and the Bree authorities figure out what to do with them. That's my vote.
we could head out in the morning.
everyone else can say their piece, and we'll make the decision now, so we can finish. We can move on from this.
I think it's more useful to have them, but I know I'm gonna be outvoted, so just go. It's fine, they can go, I guess.
Okay, so we never took a break earlier, guys. Do you want to have a little one? We've got about an
Yeah,
hour
sure.
left in the
Yeah.
game. Take a little break, and then we'll see how we wrap this up for the rest of
Okay.
the hour.
Okie doke.
Good streak.
That's all right. Okay.
Mm.
We've got about 40 minutes left, so the evening is fully upon you. You have a dwarf at each entrance at the moment. Are you planning to camp here or move on?
Well, I mean, seems as 4 or 5 as any other place, and at least according to Talendale, they got them. Well, not Talendale, but the other rangers, they got them all. So, unless completely new people stumble across this place.
Yeah, I think it's probably as safe as any place.
Okay. Well, there's enough of you that you can easily change out the guards. And there's a roof over your heads, and though you might want to use your own bedrolls instead of the grubby bandit bedrolls, but
Ew.
yeah, maybe stay out of the tents. But
Get their stuff and throw it in the fire with their bodies.
yeah. I put that fire there, but I suspect. Well, I don't know.
To not
Maybe it isn't happening until you leave tomorrow. Maybe the bodies pile up in one of the buildings or something and just set the building on fire. Although it is stone, but anyway. For dramatic effect, that's where they are. Actually, I know what I'll do.
Yeah.
Put them in there. All right. So you can go ahead on your character sheets and select a prolonged rest. And Agamandil is up all the way now. I think anybody who was injured should be maxed out by now. Let's see, Dogan. Yep, did him all right. And where's Logan gone? There we go.
Beep.
All right. I think that's all the wounded. Don't think. Okay. Since you had a roof over your head, I will let you remove. It's not really necessarily part of the rules, but I will let you remove one fatigue point.
Look for that every darn time. Wait, what's load supposed to go down?
Yeah, it
Oh, yeah,
takes
yeah,
your,
yeah,
when you
yeah.
take fatigue adds to your load. It's as if you're carrying something that weighs that much.
I thought about that after I said it.
Oh,
I was
sorry.
like, oh wait, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Okay, so the morning comes. stew is warmed up. I forgot there was another stew pot here by Bane. And there's other foodstuffs you found in the rooms and the buildings here. Seems they've been eating quite well from what they've raided from the caravans. And so you are have a nice full breakfast. And well, I never brought Hogar up into the camp, but he was actually staying back, wasn't he, with the horses?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. He never made it
Yeah.
this far with you. I forgot about that.
I'm assuming we didn't. That everything went fine though. Somewhere.
We left. That's why we left Talendale's token on the map, because that's where Hogar is back where Talendale's camp was.
Because I think he said if he heard what's his name's horn, he's gonna come running. But I forget. But that might have been what he said.
Oh, I don't remember now. No, I thought he was too far away to hear the horn. Or did you guys ride by horse close and then he's just stayed not too far away? We can retcon it.
It's 1.5 dozen the other. I mean, we could always send one of the rangers to go get him, I guess, too, if we wanted or something.
All right. Let's get to the area door map. I'll activate it. There we go. Now everyone can see it. So you are right there.
Yep. That's the ruin.
Yeah, a small ruin where there's exchange would happen with prisoners.
Okay.
With orcs whenever they'd have them. Or so they told you.
Mm-hmm. And what is this X up here again?
That
That
was
was the guest area, which he might be able to delete now for all.
oh yeah. Yeah, that was the guess of where you're at right now before you ever got this far.
Okay. Okay, so it's nothing really. Okay.
I mean,
So,
And then
where
you
do we
have
want to head from here?
Fornost as well. Sorry, Jacob, you were saying something?
no, I said my only guess is I'm assuming our next course of action is either Fornost or, in theory, I'd probably want to wait for that guy to come back, but we can check out the other meeting spot in the meantime since it's not horribly far away. Was my thought.
It's either probably that ruin. Is that what you mean?
Well, the guy talked about a meeting spot. He
Right.
said like where
That ruin, right? Where
Just
they
tell their slaves, yeah.
Either that or Fornos would be my choices. Yeah.
You know that the ranger who was going off to scout the alleged camp, or what you now know is also called a pit, unless he ran into difficulty,
Yeah, 'cause I think
he
was
reckoned
headed
he
to
would be back to Talendale's camp in 2 days.
It's
Okay.
been a day,
Yep.
right?
So
Yeah.
if you wanted to wait for that,
Yeah. I mean that makes sense, probably, right?
you could meet him
Well,
back in Talendale's camp, and that's where also definitely Hogar would be with the horses, which
Gotcha.
and then you could camp, rest there, and then perhaps make your journey to Fornost afterwards, if you wish to.
True. Well, I guess, is this on the way there, sort of? That was my question.
A very slight detour. That is going. Hold on, I need to look at my journey map. It's about just over a day's journey. Just.
I'm assuming it's about the same. Well, not about the same. I'm assuming it's because it's not quite where we need to go back to Talendale's camp anyway, but it's most of the way there.
Yeah, to go. I mean, to go to that ruin, whatever, and then from there to Talendale's camp. I mean, Talendale's camp is half a day, if that, and that's only because it's through trees.
Yeah. So
all told, you'd have, by the time you got back to Talendale's camp, assuming that ranger had no troubles, he would be there waiting for you.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. I
Okay.
think sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah, because I mean, otherwise we're just going to Talon's camp and sitting there anyway, so might as well check something out and then hit the camp, and he's already there, in theory.
Yep. All right. Let me do.
Should have expected we'd make an unexpected detour, Andy.
Hey, I expect everything from you guys. Or don't expect. I expected more of you to get hit in the bandit stronghold there. Didn't expect the leader to be dead in the first round.
I know, that shocked me. I'm like, what?
Well, with Fulvus's expert scouting, it did give us quite the advanced plan to immediately rush it, take care, and we knew the big guy was the only big guy as far as we were aware, unless he was hiding in a building somewhere. So we were like, yeah, if we take him out, we're probably okay. The others will probably maybe hit us, but they won't. You know, they're not going to rally the troops per se.
No. Okay. You've already traveled through this area before on your way to, or mostly through this area on your way to the bandit stronghold. So you kind of know the ways to go. Not going to get lost or anything like that. And you know where, you've seen where one of the keeps or one of the outposts, bandit outposts are. And you have to make camp once before you get there, because it's just over a day's journey. Because you're without horses right now, so you're going to travel much slower. If you had horses, you'd be there before the night. But
can we make it in the forest there, like in the trees a little bit?
Ever so slightly. If you were to get like right, I can't get very pinpoint with that. The maps, I can't do that either. The way it's drawn here, so the right below the blue circle is a tree point. If you could just go southwest to it, there's another tree emblem. Yeah. You could get to that.
Yeah, why don't we do, what do you guys think? I think probably in the trees. A little easier to hide. A camp. Yeah. It's just out in the open.
Okay.
Sound okay, Wanderer?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I guess we can go do that.
Okay.
And then the next morning, assuming everything's okay, make our way to the ruin and then check it out for an hour or something, and then head to Talendale's camp.
Okay. The middle of the next day, you see what they were probably referring to as the ruin.
Okay.
It sits up against the edge of the tree line. You can see partly why it's chosen, because it is partly covered by the trees. It isn't necessarily super exposed out in the middle of a field. But there's been no efforts to cover tracks. And so there's so much of it that it's not quite. That's why I'm not making you make a roll. But it does indeed lead to it. And you don't see any smoke coming from it. There doesn't seem to be any sort of occupation. I assume you're probably still using the trees as cover as you approach.
Yeah, if we can.
Oh,
Rather than
definitely.
walking straight out, but you feel like it's unlikely to be occupied right now because a new crop of slaves were being gathered in the encampment where you're at, and unless there's already a trip that had gone that you didn't know about, but you didn't pass them. In fact, you don't see any recent sort of tracks coming from it. How do you approach, or do you want to scope and watch it a while?
I'd say we should probably watch it for at least a little bit.
Yeah. Or some
An hour or something.
Fulvus is already. I'll go.
Get out your little ring, man. Go for a look.
And he pulls his ring out from his pocket. Slides it on. Oh my god, look at this. Extraordinary success. He just ducks behind a tree and like, you swear he's disappeared. Like,
just... When do you want to come with me?
And you don't even hear him walk away. He's so good at that. And in about 25 minutes, he comes back and almost startles you. So it comes out from behind a bush.
You keep doing that.
It's empty.
Empty?
Yeah, other than the smell of orc.
Okay.
Nearly threw up.
Great. Well, you want to take a quick look at it?
Yeah, come, I'll show you.
All right.
And he's taking his ring off because he realized he'd lose you. But
yeah.
And he steps carefully. Said, I was careful to try not to leave any tracks of my own, but
okay.
A hobbit can walk that way.
No.
And an elf, so I'm told.
Mm-hmm.
Looks to Angamandil, who just nods at him. But you see, it's like an old homestead built of stone. Not a big homestead, really, but it's it consists of like 2 rooms, although it's it does have a roof for most of it, but there's definitely holes in the roof in certain spots, but you do see the back room has been set up to where it can be shut up and to hold people. You can see that there's a latch. More new that's been hacked into a door system.
Okay.
And then there's the remains of campfire. And it does indeed smell of work. It's really, really bad.
Look, filthy creatures.
Filth.
There's no papers or anything around.
No.
Or any...
Nothing like that at all. You see like scraps of like bone from like whatever food was eaten, like an empty smashed up barrel in the corner. Just evidence of brief occupations, eating and drinking, but there's nothing else of note. Other than the fact that you're, that at least that aspect, you're being told the truth.
All right. Well, there's not much more to divulge from this area other than I'm assuming most of the footprints go back to the east. I'm assuming.
They do. The orc ones do. They go to the straight east of you. And the human ones go back west.
Well, other than, I guess, mentioning the Talendale, he might want to keep an eye on this area with some of the rangers then. Every so often.
Indeed we will. Here we can intercept any of the further slaves that, although taking out that camp, did we not harm their operations? There are other bandits, but we don't know if, I don't believe there's any other major encampments, but I think we've delivered quite a blow to their operation.
That's what I like to hear.
Come, let's make for camp.
Yes.
It's a few hours ride from here.
It's even a few more hours walk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not riding. That's right, you're walking. And when it gets into late afternoon, we're looking about 5, maybe getting close to 6 o'clock, you get into Talendale's camp. And Hogar is there, and although he tries to contain it, but he is quite pleased to see you, and he comes right up to you, Bane. Well, successful, I take it?
I, and even found them half lost in the woods. I'll make a joke at the other dwarves' expense there.
Very funny. And Hogar pats them on the back, and come, have a seat by the fire. There's much you should hear. There's that bear again.
Yeah, almost. No signal. Hold on.
Go sit down at the fire then. And I'm assuming the other ranger's there, is he?
Yes, we've just been chatting. He's been here since a few hours now, just after the morning passed. And so everyone gathers around, and
Yeah, what's it fine?
Talendale embraces his man.
Yeah, I don't think we named that one.
I didn't name any of them actually for you. It's just I never had come up with it. Or I don't even have character sheets for them, but Talendale is after the greetings, and glad to see you alive, and trust there was no troubles, and brief summary of what has happened to you guys. This man tells you that it was easy to follow. There were many orc tracks, and they're not very good at hiding their tracks. But I was very careful not to leave tracks of my own. But there is the beginnings of a major operation there. There's a lot of digging going on. not like a mine necessarily. Not like they're. It's like almost like a dwelling.
Some place to shelter from the sun, perhaps.
Yes.
And who was doing this? Well, if they were present, who was doing this digging? Orcs or slaves?
Slaves under the strict guidance of some orcs. I wanted to be able to take care of it then and there, but I'm only one.
Did you get their numbers?
Hard to say. It's the beginnings of an operation, mind you. Don't gather they've been there more than a few weeks. But there was enough of a dwelling made, I could tell the orcs were using it during the daytime. It's quite... There's some natural seclusion. I can see why they chose it. It does go down, it's into a bit of a dip, there's a bit of almost like a cliff overhang there. And some limited tree cover, but... And there was movement coming in and out further east from there. I would have followed on with that, but in keeping with our timings as we discussed, I wanted to be able to report back. But as far as the slaves treatment goes, yeah, heavy labor, but and working them hard. I don't feel like their lives are necessarily immediately in danger as far as losing the life, that is, because the orcs seem desperate to have a lot of work done. And fast. I nearly had a close call. I thought my position had been discovered, but I managed to slip away.
Wonder what they're in such a hurry to get done.
They're probably trying to build a large enough area to hold most of their forces away from the sun. But to do so would take a lot of work and several stops along the way, which would explain these other markings.
Very true.
You should all recall the words of Mormog. Do you remember? When you witnessed the meeting of the trolls?
For the most part. It's been a while.
It has been a while since we're on session 14. That was like number 3 maybe, or 4 at most. But I can summarize if you...
Sure.
For the sake of not going through it, sure.
Quite what you've just surmised about holding forces, say, from the sun. He talked about building, so that where you freed the dwarves underneath there, the mining operation that was going on there. They were building a tunnel underneath the Horwell.
Yeah.
And as a roadway from the east, from up, the hills northeast, to come into Eriador, since there's no bridges. And when you witnessed the meeting, Mormog was talking about building these secluded areas away from the sun so that they would be in position to take the spoils of Eriador, to take the land away from the Western folk.
Almost
so
sounds like those places.
Sorry?
I said these definitely sound like those places.
Yeah. It reminds you of that anyway. You know, and if he can be believed, the bandit from the east mentioned armies. Armies of shadow kind who don't much care for the sunlight.
Well, and it would make it way easier for them to strike out against Eriador if they could make their way to Fornost, because if Fornost is their end goal of a staging point, that can launch into the rest of Eriador with almost ease due to the highway and the whatever other way they choose to go.
It is a strategic spot. You are correct. Didn't even need to make a battle roll for that one.
Oh, you want me to make battle roll?
No, that's all right, dude. I'll let you have it. I think your battle is quite high anyway. Oh, it's a 1.
It's decent. However, my heart is very high. That's the reason I have such low hope.
All right. I'll let you have it anyway. It's all right.
But you know, Bane has been in large battles before. He knows. He's been in Erebor.
Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, we'd have to obviously go investigate, but maybe these are just whether it's finished or not, this might be where their armies are located, or the bulk of their armies, and these are what they're trying to prepare.
Yeah, the other thought that you might have is that the map you were going off of that you got from the orc encampment out east. It's been a few weeks since you got that map.
Yeah.
Who knows what's happened here or here? Is this the frontier? The last to be done? Yeah, I mean, you don't know any of these things, but...
Well, I guess with all that knowledge, I guess we'll talk to Talendil and the Rangers. So it's probably prudent to figure out how far along the rest of these projects are, although that's going to take them longer to get back to us about. I'm assuming we didn't just let them go into the wilderness, so I'm assuming someone has to escort the innocents with the prisoners back to the road.
Talendale was going to send one ranger with them.
Yeah, at least to get to the road.
Or did, yeah. Once they get to the road, they'll probably be okay, because they can... It's a much faster journey. If they go like a southwest into the road about there, stick with the trees, yeah. From there on the road, they can get to Bree in a day, or just over a day.
Yeah, basically we need more scouting of these areas over here, because we've solved the bandit issue for the most part, unless there's like minor ones. And then we need to find out, I think maybe if they relink up with Moonwolf and find out maybe more about the Weather Hill situation a little bit. And then Fornos we obviously need to know about. Plus, probably that's the nearest place, at least by the sounds of it, that an artifact to help... I don't want to call her Faradru. I want to call her her real name. Might be.
Eromina,
yeah. So that's the nearest place that could be. And the only place I've heard so far without scouting it more is the castle. Unless the Rangers know more. The Rangers were in Fornos, or their ancestors were. They might know places.
Yeah, they're going to have, well, you can ask your good friend Wanderer.
That too. I just didn't know if she... I'm assuming she would have gone... The moment we found out, she would have been like, oh yeah, this other place. But maybe not.
Well, I would leave that up to Saul here to decide if she had spent much time there, or if her efforts with the Rangers have been more east in Rudauer or down into Cardolan or
Trollstraws or what?
maybe even Eragion and Saul?
Well, I know I had said I haven't ventured into the mountains with but I would say given my knowledge of the folks of Rivendell, I'd definitely be more to the east of Bree and probably in that southern area more.
When the
So you're
only thing I'll say is because I took some liberties, obviously, when the first session, but that you and Talendale had been investigating the bandit presence, but you had been covering areas down in the South Downs
Yeah.
while he was up in here, and then you met in Bree. So that could have been the westernmost.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking my character would have stayed in this area. I've only been at it a couple years, I think. I forget how old I said I was.
Yeah, I guess if you stayed to the south and the east, you might have gone a little bit up the Greenway, because that's still close enough to Bree. Because I know Numinos and Fornos are watched by the Rangers.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't
They
have
are
come
indeed.
that much further north than here.
Yeah, you're 23, by the way. It's on your character sheet. But
Yeah, I just flipped over to my character sheet.
Okay. Well, if you don't know much, maybe the other Rangers do, though, because I don't know what their usual ranging areas are. I'm assuming he gathered from nearby, but...
Talendale, well, they're all set right here with you, but
Wait,
Talendale being an old ranger. I've been to Fornost. Not recently. God, the years have passed. But I do keep watch over it. We used to be on the inside of it, but it became too dangerous. And there is the ruins of a castle. There's other ruins of manor houses and ruins of just the town, really. The war was very unkind with it.
any particular locations that you would know that the captains of the enemy used to inhabit, or where you've seen... Have we already shown him the etchings of Faradrun's collar, or something like just something that looks like this? I don't know if we've shown it to him or not.
I don't recall you ever showing him at all.
So, show it to him, just in case it sparks a memory somewhere. Oh, I've seen something like that.
Although I am by no means the expert on this sort of writing, this sort of markings, but these are, although I guess you'd gather this much, but
yeah,
these are binding spell markings of from the Black Speech. But Angmar occupied Fornost for a time, specifically around the castle.
Sounds like castles are best.
And they did leave things behind. There was no time to clean it up, as it were. And we haven't the numbers. But yeah.
You've
guess.
been within the... So you would you know probably where the best place to set up for these orc kind would be, or to hold my lord's armor and such?
There are so many places that are now, underground. Even if the buildings above ground are toppled and ruined, down below the surface, many are still intact. And if these orcs have embedded themselves there, they've perhaps tunneled and connected them. There could be a vast network there. But I think if we had those kind of numbers of orcs, we'd have seen more evidence of that. So, although that's sure to come, mayhaps they have slaves there as well, and they're preparing their southernmost base of operations. But they don't really have to dig so much, because the last that was there was loads of places underneath. Still. I can remember around the castle there are a lot of low places that lead down. There are lower entrances into parts of the castle. The ground slopes there. I can't imagine that has changed since the orcs.
Well, unless we're willing to go in blind, I think it might be best if we send scouts from the Rangers or others. I mean, the Rangers seem probably best suited to the task since they know the land and everything. To go scout Fornost, this other camp, the Weather Hills, bringing, the innocents over there. Because what we do know is this exists. It's probably takeable from the sound of it. At least not, about as takeable as the other two or three strongholds we've gone against. By the sounds of it. I mean, unless they made it sound like there was a lot more than that, which I was a little unclear from the scout, but...
No, the exact numbers I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But I don't know, a group of us that number as such as us here, we may be able to.
Well, because it's the only place, unless we're willing to wait or go somewhere blind, it's the only place we know somewhat about at this point. And we still have seen hide nor hair of word from Gandalf, so... And he was supposed to head north and somewhere.
He was heading west of Hobbiton.
Because I think he was talking west and then north to check out the hobbits, I think was his phrasing. I could be wrong, but...
You know that, what are the names escaping me right now? Hold on. You know that, Rudigar, the Hobbit, Rudigar Duke, Belar the Dwarf,
Or,
my God, why do I forget her name?
Aelros and...
Oh yeah, Aelros and the Hunter.
Is that
Gilraeth.
Gilraeth.
God, I was thinking her name begins with an M, and I can't remember it. I made
I
all
was
these
myself.
NPCs.
I was myself with Gilrain, but I'm like, no, it's something else. Gilraeth, I think. Yeah.
But you know that they journeyed with Gandalf to the Shire, and that last was known. Gandalf had business in the west. You don't know if the Four went with him or not.
What?
But
Like I said, it's probably best to just get more information from the Rangers scouting, and then maybe go check this out, unless anyone else has any ideas. Because also, if we can disrupt this, it throws another wrench in their plans, where they either have to relocate and build a new one, or just go without. and hope the orcs can cross the sunlight to the best of their abilities.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, either that or they have to hope to make it to the woods and hide in the woods, but at that point we know they're coming and you can see them a mile away, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, attempting to disrupt their line sounds like a good idea to me while somebody checks the other places.
Yeah. So that we can find more about if they have a base down here, because I know they had people, the orcs, traveling here in the cover of the mountains, but maybe they have like a more permanent location here. And I know Moonwolf said there was something maybe in here. And then there was Fornos, obviously, which is their base and probably where Brock is. And then basically it's just what's up with the rest of these areas and how far along are these other areas, which at least someone can go a little farther and find out about this one. Maybe even these other two if they're willing to go really far, but at least this one. To see how their progress is. And I suppose if they're already taking prisoners down there, we can also maybe give those freed people some letters to disperse. To go to like Rivendell, hopefully find Gandalf. Maybe even not even go to the trip, but maybe send a note to Moonwolf on Weathertop.
Well, there are couriers to be had in Bree.
Yeah, so if we send letters down with the group to go to Bree, and then Bree can disperse it.
Have they not already gone, though?
Oh, I thought they were still with us, because he was going to send a ranger with...
Oh, yes,
That was
of course.
here.
Sorry, I get things mixed up. My bad. Yeah, I guess it makes sense to travel together with him, so it's a large group of you with you prisoners.
Yeah, or, well, at least the ranger's there to, tell them, hey, something's coming, get off the road, or, hey, prisoners, stop going at your binds, because I know when prisoners are trying to escape versus,
All right.
And that would also give a chance for maybe Elrond, because I'm assuming Elrond has his own scouts to maybe tell us how Mormog's doing. Because I know, even though we disrupted, I'm sure he's still hard at work up here.
Oh, yeah. Well, you assume so, anyway. There was
But I
a
know
whole
Elrond-
horde of trolls.
So I know they'd either have to go around the long way, or let Elrond might let us, because I know Elrond was going to keep an eye on where the tunnel was. I forget, was it the river camp? It was either the river camp or the Broken Keep. I think it was the river
It
camp.
was Broken Keep, actually.
Oh, was it? All right.
Yeah, the river camp was where you encountered some bandits with a troll. With a troll and
all right, it was a troll hole. The other one descended deeper in the Broken Keep.
yeah,
Correct.
that's right.
But it would give Elrond a chance to let us know generally how things are going as well. Might take a while, but it seems like some of these things might take a while regardless. So,
Well, getting the ball rolling, getting, word getting out there, and hopefully by the time things come to fruition, others may know. I mean, it can't hurt.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's probably our best course of action, especially because we could probably take this place. I mean, might be a little of a hiccup, but I mean, it seems like compared to the other place, it's about the same. Who knows what's going on here? But if one of his rangers can find out about that, one of his rangers or him, I mean, I guess he's also a ranger, and he's probably the most experienced, so he might go to Fornost because he knows the way.
And he has been there before.
Which would definitely help. And then, obviously the note might get to Moonwolf alone, so Moonwolf can either send a letter or come down himself and inform us of the Weather Hill situation. And then
He seemed pretty adamant that I mean, there's always, often, anyway, not always, but often a ranger watching from Weathertop.
true.
And it's kind of his turn.
Yeah.
So
That's why I said he can send another lookout. Because I'm assuming he doesn't sit out there all day long. I'm assuming he's still
no,
kind
he
of...
scouts around a little bit, obviously, but
That probably sounds like the best idea.
well,
So I don't know what we would scout, because we already figured out the Hobbits situation over here is they're not going to be here. It's all going this way. So
well, we should probably leave it there for the session, and then should have Chris back for the next one, and maybe Unicorn's work will be kind.
maybe with any luck.
But they'll have an opinion to give anyway. All right. Not that.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm gonna open up Fulvis and Agamemnon's sheet to make sure. Ah, okay. Yes. All right. Let's see. Hairbrand, you should have 3 more points now, of both skill and adventure points. Bane. And Wanderer. And, oh, I need to adjust the calendar. 4th, and then it's the 25th that we arrive back in Tellendale's camp.
Yeah, I was keeping track of it.
I saw.
Yeah, it's been almost a month since we've been at Mormog's meeting. Actually, probably more than a month.
Yep, this month is almost out. And we're at New Moon tonight. Cool.
It'd be totally funny if Faradrune's coincidentally was with the moon, but we just haven't noticed up until now. But probably not.
All right, let's stop recording. That'll be all then.